I'm really excited and happy to be back and to help my team win any way I can, and bring all the positive energy and the joy, both just enjoy the game and get W's. That's all that matters.
Ozzie Albies, how much did Braves country miss you? For the first time in over a month, the Braves spark plug second baseman is back in the lineup for Atlanta as they try to salvage 1 out of 3 against the surging Miami Marlins. Hi again, friends. Chip Carey, Jeff Francoeur. Great to have the gang back together. Finally, partner, the Braves are getting their envisioned starting 9 together with 2.5 weeks left. It's perfect timing for the Braves and, of course, for Ozzie Albies, too.
Yeah, no doubt. It's nice to have him back, shot in the arm tonight to get that win against the Marlins. Look, since 2018, when Ozzie came up and was the everyday second baseman in his first full season, he has led all of the National League second basemen in hits. And this is a guy that brings the energy every single night. I've said it numerous times. I love Ronald Acuna. I love Freddie Freeman. They bring so much to the table. But this is a guy, night in and night out, you see the fans, he brings them to their feet, and he's able to bring so much. You look what he did last year right there, led the NL in hits, third in doubles. Really should have probably won a Gold Glove. Colton Wong got it, but definitely one of the top second basemen in baseball, and a welcome sign for the Braves to have him back in this lineup.
I think he just energizes all of us, including the broadcasters. And Bertie, I'm sure he energizes the offense and maybe the pitching staff too as we get set for Game 3.
Hey, when I read the tweet about Ozzie, I was instantly energized. Even talking to Brian Snitker today, he said, I appreciate Ozzie as much off the field as I do on, what he brings to that locker room, so we're fired up. What can make my day better? Tommy Milone, starting pitcher, throwing really well. You know what? I'm not going to make any promises other than he's going to throw strikes, he's going to compete. And I have to say, as a veteran pitcher, when your team needs you, you're excited to take the hill and get the job done. Get the ball to that bullpen. You don't have to be perfect on this team. We're going to score some runs. Can he do it? Chip.
I think the answer to that is yes, as the Braves start play tonight with a 1.5 lead over the Phillies in the National League's Eastern Division. It's a very special day here in Atlanta and all across Major League Baseball. It's Roberto Clemente Day. We'll hear from the Braves nominee for that prestigious award, Freddie Freeman, when we come back to Atlanta next. Welcome back to Truist Park in Atlanta, where here and all across Major League Baseball we celebrate Roberto Clemente Day. Roberto Clemente, a 15-time All-Star, a 12-time Gold Glover, a National League and World Series MVP with 3,000 career hits. Clemente is baseball's greatest humanitarian. While delivering relief supplies to earthquake-stricken Nicaragua, Clemente's plane crashed New Year's Eve 1972. And as the first Latin American elected to baseball's Hall of Fame, Clemente's legacy of sportsmanship and community involvement will never be forgotten. The Braves nominee for the Clemente Award this year is none other than our own Freddie Freeman.
That's pretty special. I think when you have a little bit of a platform and you use it for good, it just definitely makes you feel good. I mean, obviously, I didn't donate to get recognition or do any of that kind of stuff. That's not who I am. But, I was in a position to be able to help some people, and that's what my wife and I wanted to do. So it's definitely very humbling, and all the accolades you can get on the field when you do stuff off the field and get recognized and all this kind of stuff. It definitely means a lot to me and my family.
We should all be humbled by the remarkable work that Freddie and his wife Chelsea have contributed to Atlanta-based charities. Over $125,000 were donated to the Atlanta Community Food Bank and the Giving Kitchen. Bravo indeed, Freddie Freeman, and congratulations on being the Braves Roberto Clemente Award nominee in 2020. It's the series finale, the Braves and the Marlins, coming up from Truist Park. We'll get you started with lineups and first pitch right after the break.
Brought to you by Xfinity XFi, blazing fast Wi-Fi with no curveballs. And by Synovus, the bank of here.
It is a beautiful late summer night in Atlanta. Blue skies overhead, and Ozzie Albies is back for Game 3 of our series with the Miami Marlins, who have already won this series. The Braves hope to avoid a sweep at the hands of Don Mattingly's 19-18 club. Their Toyota starting lineup has a couple of different faces in there. Lewis Brinson and Monty Harrison, two fleet-footed outfielders, will bat back-to-back at the bottom of the lineup card. And the challenge for Tommy Milone, well, give the Braves rotation some depth. Again, Jeff, that's the overriding question as we head down the stretch. Can the Braves starting staff stabilize and give Brian Snitker quality innings?
Yeah, first start versus Philly, Tommy struggled. Ran into that tough third inning. Was a lot better against Washington. 4 innings, 1 run, 3 Ks. So done a lot better. And for him tonight, from an offense, for him pitching, Chip, keep the Marlins under 5 runs. They're 11-1 when they score 5 this year. And from an offensive standpoint, Freddie moved up to that 2-hole. You got the best 1-2-3 punch in all of baseball.
We'll talk more about that a little bit later. The 3-headed monster that is this Atlanta offense as Miguel Rojas leads off and takes a called strike. Rojas has had a whale of a series, 5 for 9 at the plate, and is hitting .367 for the season. Malone has faced the Marlins before. Not a lot of head-to-head action. In fact, his last outing against Miami came way back in 2018. Does have 1 career decision, and it's a win.
Rojas batted 8th last night. The reason he's leading off tonight, .524 against lefties this year. Good production against southpaws.
And a hot series, so lead him off. You said start with a bang. That might be the same thing the Marlins are hoping for out of Rojas, who digs back in on a delightful 83-degree night. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Rojas. And popped behind first. And Ronald Acuna Jr. gathers that in. Malone off to a good start. The leadoff man retired, 1 out. Braves in a tough stretch right now. They've dropped 4 of their last 5 games, but Jeff, they're still in first in the division. The Braves have a 1.5 game lead over the Phillies. The Braves are 15-13 at home. The Marlins are 2.5 games off the pace for the top spot. They went out and got Starling Marte from Arizona to try to bolster their playoff chances. And hey, let's face it, you might see the Braves and Marlins match up in the playoffs somehow, some way.
It's possible.
Marte's had a quiet set, 1 for 11. And up and away to him, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jesus Aguilar is next. He's the designated hitter for Don Mattingly's Marlins. It's lined out a play foul. Marlins after this game will head home. They have been on the road for quite some time. They will start a 15-game and 11-day stretch at Marlins Park. No more days off for Miami down the stretch over the final 2.5 weeks.
And I was about to say, the one advantage I feel like the Braves have, yes, they've lost 4 out of 5, but Marlins Phillies have a 7-game set coming up with each other, which they're right behind the Braves. And the Braves have 2nd easiest schedule left in all of baseball. So good opportunity for them to take advantage of both those things.
Yeah, we were talking before the game about that 7-game series in particular, as that's in the dirt. When a team is chasing you and is behind you and plays another divisional opponent, what you don't want is a sweep. I don't think either one of those teams are going to sweep 7 games.
That would be impressive.
It would be really impressive. But 4-3, even 5-2 with that schedule you mentioned for Atlanta, the Braves ought to be in pretty good shape. We'll see how it plays out as Marte grounds out. 2 up, 2 down for Malone. And Aguilar's the hitter. And 3 for 8 in the series. And look, we're not counting our chickens before they're hatched, but look, the numbers are what they are. It's all there for the taking for Atlanta. If they win the games they're supposed to, they're the division leaders. It will take a near superhuman effort to catch them. 5 homers, 23 driven in for Jesus.
Yes, he's had a good year offensively. I don't think he's kind of supplied the pop they were hoping for, but has done a nice job for him.
Big time slugger with the Brewers, you might recall. And the Marlins have been hitting their share of home runs of late. 14 homers in the last 9 games, although Aguilar hasn't been a part of that. The rest of his mates have been.
Yeah, Milwaukee a little easier to hit a home run than Marlins Park.
Good point. 2-0 pitch. And Aguilar didn't get that. 2 balls and a strike.
That's Tommy's changeup. That's his pitch he's going to rely on the most. Throws at 2nd highest rate in all of baseball.
And right between the legs of home plate umpire Stu Surewater tonight.
See there, 39%. A lot of change-ups.
Driven toward right center field. Ender on the run. He is at the wall. It's off his glove, and Aguilar is on his way to second. Ender ran to the 375 sign to try to track that down. Couldn't come up with it. And the Marlins get a 2-out hit.
Ender actually got a good jump on this and had plenty of room. I don't know if he thought the wall was going. That's a play we tend to see him make most of the time.
Looks like he overran it by about a step. So break for Miami. Aguilar with his 6th double, we presume, brings up Brian Anderson. Anderson with 5 homers and 20 driven in. They played Aguilar as an opposite field hitter. The same thing for Anderson. So Ender had a long way to go. Got there, just couldn't haul it in. And that's tipped for a strike. It's an even count to the Miami third baseman. Marlins have done a good job, Jeff, with 2 outs this year. Put the ball in play. They're in the 260s as a team.
Well, that's how they've scored a lot of the runs, because they're not in a lot of the top of the offense category, so they've had some timely hitting.
Good change. Anderson couldn't time it. A ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes from Tommy Malone to Brian Anderson, and a high fly to center. Ender hardly had to move. Back a couple of steps, and Malone is out of the first inning. Pablo Lopez to the mound for the Marlins to face Acuna, Freeman, and Marcell Ozuna. Acuna, Freeman, and Ozuna. Of course, Ozzie Albies has come back. Dansby Swanson's hitting 5th. And as you see on our leadoff feature presented by Truist, the 3-headed monster of those top 3 hitters is the game plan for Snit and the offense tonight.
Yeah, and with Ozzie back hitting lower in the lineup, I kind of like it. Put the best 3 hitters you have. 1, 2, 3. Try to score some runs early. Look, the only team in MLB with 3 players with OPS of 1,000+. So
that's the challenge right out of the chute for Pablo Lopez, who's having a terrific year for this Marlins pitching staff. 3-3, a 3.05 ERA. A loss against Tampa Bay last time out. 2 runs, 7 innings, and no walks. So the Marlins didn't support him. He's been tough on Atlanta. This guy's got good stuff.
Yeah, he does. Last time out facing the Braves back in August, 6 innings pitched, 2 runs, 8 Ks, no walks at all. And he's got the 3rd best ground ball rate in all of baseball among starters. So look for him to try to throw that changeup's his big second pitch right there.
Quickly ahead of Ronald, no balls, 2 strikes. Ronald's in a bit of a dry spell, hitless in this series, and 0 for his last 8 overall. The thing I like about Ozuna is he attacks. He throws strikes, works quickly. As you said, gets the ball on the ground. Has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in any of his starts this year, and he's making the most starts for the Marlins tonight. This is his 8th. So Pablo Lopez, 24 years young, has a 2-2 count on Acuna, and he's promptly run it full 3-2. Let's get Ronald on. Let him create some havoc on the bases. Hasn't had a chance to do a lot of running of late.
Yeah, it's been home runs
or outs.
Or out.
And he issues a leadoff walk. So Lopez got ahead with 2 strikes and lost his man. There's some help. And Don Mattingly will start to pace as Freddie Freeman comes to the plate. Hope tonight we see Freddie get to 1,500 career hits. He's only 2 away from that. That would be a nice feather in his cap to do it on his home field before the Braves embark on a 10-game road trip.
Yeah, when you're coming off a shutout like last night, you got 3 of the best hitters in baseball starting off. One of my keys, start with the bang. Get a couple runs early and then give Tommy Milone a chance to calm down and pitch.
Freddie took a shot at left. This one's popped up. And Freeman will be retired for out number 1. Nice job by Rojas in the shift to make that play. He was the Lone Ranger on the left side, and here's Ozuna. Again, it's a different looking lineup for the Braves, who flourished with Dansby Swanson either hitting first or second for the Braves. Dansby's hitting 5th as a starter for the first time in his major league career tonight. And Atlanta easing Ozzie Albies in, as we suspected Brian Snitker would do, Jeff, batting him 8th.
Well, I think Dansby's a perfect guy to move around the lineup some. You know, he's used to hitting whether it's 7th, 8th, 1st, 2nd.
Good lead for Ronald at first. Lopez to the belt, long pause, and now Ozuna wants time. At this level, does it really matter where you hit in a big league lineup?
Not necessarily. I mean, you don't want, to me, you don't want moving parts everywhere. You'd like some guys to be kind of set where they are.
Ronald's not going, and the pitch fouled at the plate.
But I mean, look, when you look at the Braves lineup tonight, you got Riley, Duvall, and Ozzie hitting 6th, 7th, 8th. How many teams have that down at the bottom of the lineup?
And when the Braves lineup has been at its best, the bottom has fed the top.
Well, that's more with Ozzie, not just having his back for his energy and the way he plays. I'm looking to see him hit healthy this year. I don't think he's been healthy the whole year hitting, and that affected him. I think we both knew it was kind of the end for him to go on the IL after we saw him hit lefty off a lefty pitcher. You kind of knew that's not a good sign.
Yeah, bone bruise in the wrist was the problem for Albies, who missed more than a month. Active for the first time since August the 4th. And we all missed the electricity he brings. 0-1 for Ozuna. And that skips up there. Nice stop. Again, Pablo Lopez does not walk many men. Just 10 now in 38 1/3 innings. Darno waits on deck. Dansby Swanson lurking as well. Scoreless game. Braves have a leadoff walk for Acuna. Now he's at first with 1 out. The pitch. That one pulled off the plate. You're seeing what the presence of Acuna at first base is doing to Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez a little erratic. He got ahead on 2 nice fastballs with Ronald to start the game, and now he's really pulling that fastball. The changeup, we've seen him spike it twice.
Gentle breeze blowing toward the chop house in right field at Truist Park. The pitch. And Ozuna sprayed that foul off the screen. Still alive as he. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Darno's next. Barring a double play. Well, you look at Ozuna's bat. That War Club glistening with a fresh coat of pine tar. The 2-2. And he hit it right off the pine tar. He's checking the bat. Look at that.
Yeah, there's no doubt he spent some time getting that bad boy ready before every game.
Somewhere Tim McClellan is just cursing. That was the old George Brett pine tar situation. McClellan was a home plate umpire. That baby is loaded up for Ozuna. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Number 13 of the inning on the way, and fouled straight back. Had a good rip at 95 center cut. That's not where Lopez wants to throw Ozuna.
He's trying to go away where he went with the 2-1 pitch. He painted him 94 outside.
Again, the 2-2, and that one is fouled away. And on the backswing, Ozuna clobbered Alfaro. Let's see if he needs some attention. Oh.
And I'm not so sure if Marcel doesn't even hit that, if it might hit him still. That was a changeup just running in at him the whole time.
Yeah, everybody's all right. Don't often see a foul ball where the batter and the catcher takes punishment. So we'll try again. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Marcell Ozuna. And a swing and a miss. It was a well-placed fastball. First strikeout for Lopez, 2 outs.
Good pitch. You could tell Marcel opening up a little, probably thought that changeup or something in was coming, and he painted him 97 away.
Darno, the hitter, .314 average for Travis. 6 homers, 22 driven in. One ball, no strikes. It's fouled away at the plate. Darno has 3 hits against Miami this year, one of them a home run. And in a very small sample size, 2 out of 3 head-to-head with Pablo Lopez.
And you can see the run he has on his ball. He throws that 4-seamer you saw to Ozuna at 97, but he's also got 92, 93 right there running in, and that changeup. Darno, second guy now besides Ozuna, took a swing at a ball way in.
One ball, 1 strike. I can understand why this first time through Ronald hasn't thought about running. We showed you those great numbers for Freeman and Ozuna.
Yeah, and Lopez is not, you know, you have some guys with high leg kicks, pretty quick to the plate. So you don't want to just run yourself out of an inning at the same time.
Exactly right. 1-2 count for the Braves catcher. Ronald holds the pitch. And Alfaro tried to snatch a strike. He's done that a couple of times in the series. Braves have done a good job forcing that pitch count up for Lopez. The next one he throws will be number 20.
That was a pretty good changeup. The one before that, he got the call, but it was more over the plate. That one away.
That one perfect, right down Broadway, and Darno couldn't pull the trigger on 96. Back-to-back strikeouts, and we go to the second. No score.
The second, there he is. Welcome back, Ozzy. I gotta say this, on the DL since August 5th. Guys, he said that he had pain when he swung from the right side of the plate, not the left. Where was the bone bruise? It was on the right arm right here. And he said he missed being here so bad. He said it was so tough. What was the toughest part? Watching from his couch, not being able to at least be in the dugout with his teammates. Side note, during his timeout. Recently, he faced Cole Hamels, and he said he was so good hitting all of his spots, and his cutter was so nasty that he couldn't hit it even when he was told it was coming. Guys.
That's encouraging.
Double good news.
Yeah. Hope to get Cole Hamels back in the rotation, perhaps on the upcoming road trip. Still some work for Cole to accomplish before that happens, as Garrett Cooper singles into left field to lead things off for the Marlins. He's going to try for two, and the throw gets away. They had him dead to rights if it was caught. He hustled all the way and beat the throw. So Cooper not a single, but a hustle double, the second Marlins hit.
Not a horrible pitch down in the zone, but does a good job. And as you said here, Chip, they had him. Tough short hop for Ozzie. I think people forget that, you know, with the COVID and everything this year, guys, you know, they're not able to be in the dugout when they're, you know, on the IL. Or if they do come, they work out at noon when no one's here and go home. They're not able to be with the team.
All part of the COVID restrictions, trying to keep guys.
Yeah, which I'm just saying, I think people forget sometimes, you know, that they're not able to be down there in the dugout. Cole Hamels hasn't been able to sit down there and talk to a lot of these guys. So I know both those guys dying to get back. We got one back, and hopefully the next one's coming soon.
This is Lewis Brinson, 236 average, a homer, 3 RBIs. Brinson's got really good speed. He's an excellent outfielder. Jury's still out on whether he can put the ball in play enough. 288 on base percentage. A lot of strikeouts. That has been the dent in his armor, if you will, as an offensive player in the major leagues.
And they've given him numerous chances. He's had some opportunities now, and as with the team continues to get better and these guys grow, you know, he's going to have to prove he can put the numbers up.
And just missed. 2 balls and a strike. Brinson, then Harrison coming up. Brinson and Harrison were part of the big Christian Yelich deal. So far, it hasn't quite panned out the way that the Marlins would hope. In the case of Brinson, who was one of the top-rated prospects for Milwaukee coming back in that deal. There's Harrison. He's the 6th rated prospect according to Baseball America in the Marlins system. Two hits for Miami, both of them doubles, one by Aguilar, one by Cooper leading off the second. Malone versus Brinson. No score in the top of inning number 2. Hey, swing and miss. There's that strikeout. And Brinson tied up. That's the first for Tommy Malone, 1 away.
Well, Tommy Malone's not going to overpower you, 87. But what he does here, Chip, everything away, and then he comes in at 87 and paints you. And that's how he has to pitch to be successful. Nice sequence for him.
So here's Harrison. He's 25 years old. He was a 2nd-round pick by Milwaukee back in 2014. Last year at AAA, hit .274 with 9 homers. Stole 20 bases. .357 on base. The scouting report says of this guy, terrific arm, raw power. That'll be tested in his home ballpark. As Cooper has a good lead, the pitch. Inside corner, Malone paints again. It's 0-2.
If I remember, I think he hit his first home run down in Miami when the Braves were down there back in mid-August.
We'll have to check that. It was August 15th off Will Smith.
He went opposite field in a tie ball game, I think.
That's that raw power. He hit it the other way as a right-handed hitter in Miami. That's real good work. Pitch. And that inside corner again, 1-2.
And that's 3 fastballs Tommy's throwing. He went away. He's come in. The last 2, we'll see if he tries to either go back outside with a fastball or if he decides to throw that changeup and get him to chase something low and away.
Second scoring chance for Miami. Cooper at second. And a good eye by Harrison. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They shade Harrison around toward right. Big gap in left center. And the pitch. He chased that. Good change up from Malone. Back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff double. So that's what we're talking about. These young aggressive hitters from Miami strike out an awful lot. 2 big ones there.
And you have a veteran guy out there who doesn't walk a lot of people, knows how to work the zone. Great job. 3 fastballs, comes back with 2 changeups. That one got him to chase.
So Malone having a career high strikeouts per 9-inning run this year. He has a base open with Alfaro and Jazz Chisholm 1 for 16 for the season on deck. I would think they'd be very careful here. But we shall see as Cooper leads. The pitch skips up there. Good stop. Ball 1. Alfaro hit his first home run. That came in the 3rd inning last night.
Hitting the Braves bullpen.
That's his 4th career homer against the Braves in 33 games. They've really been working on him with that opposite field power, and he has plenty of it. Line drive, base hit to left. They pitch to Alfaro, and they'll pay the price. Cooper will come home and score as Alfaro drives home his 5th run, a 2-out hit. Again, the Marlins come through down to their last out. They lead 1-0.
He's trying to go away and brought it back over the plate. It's always a tough one because you do have a base open, I understand, but at the same time, it's early in the game, 2nd inning. It's nice to have that 9-hole hitter lead off. And for some reason, if you do walk him and this guy gets on, then you got a guy that really hits lefties good coming up next.
Rojas and Marte.
Yeah, it's a tough. I think that, you know, he just missed in the wrong spot. If you're going to miss there, you got to miss off the plate, and he pulled it.
So Jazz Chisholm. Marlins are giving this kid a chance to play every day. Plus defender. The bat has a ways to go at this level. They traded Zach Gallen to the Diamondbacks to bring this kid into the Marlins organization. And he couldn't check his swing. A ball and a strike.
I know he hasn't hit yet this year, but I thought you tell me before the game 20 home runs last year, right, in Double-A. Not a big kid, but obviously with 20 home runs, got to have a little pop.
Yeah, I shortchanged him one. It's 21.
Sorry.
21 home runs in 112 games. 1 ball, 1 strike. High fly ball headed toward right center. Acuna streaking. Ender is there. That ball is off the fence. Ender's going to play it on the ricochet. Around third comes Alfaro, and look at Chisholm fly. He's got a triple, and Miami leads 2-0. He just missed a home run. That's his first RBI, and man, oh man, did he put a charge into that baby in right center.
You know, between Ronald and Ender, Chip, usually they would have a chance to get back to the wall and catch that ball, but they were playing so shallow that they had to both run a long ways to get that ball.
Chisholm didn't turn on the afterburners until he was almost at first base. So 2 more 2-out hits for Miami. They lead 2-0. And Rojas, the batter. He flied out to start the game for the Marlins. That's cued towards second. First chance for Ozzie, and he makes the play, and that retires the side. A double, single, and a triple. Those last 2 hits came with 2 outs, and the Marlins strike first. Week in Atlanta at Truist Park, in conjunction with the Atlanta Braves, Fox South and Fox Southeast will honor one of our great community heroes tonight and the rest of this week. They will receive surprise video messages from one of those players and receive a $5,000 donation for their good works. And Paul Berg will tell us who that community hero will be a little bit later on in the broadcast. Pablo Lopez leads by 2 as Dansby Swanson leads off the second inning. Riley and Duvall are coming up as well for the Braves in Game 3 of this series with the Marlins. Foul away. Funny how we talked about, well, Dansby's never hit 5th before, and he's batted leadoff at second, all that. He's leading off this inning. I would guess you treat it just the same way, right?
Yeah, like I said, I think there's some people you can move up and down the lineup. He's one because he can get on base, but he also can drive in runs and hit for power. So good guy to have that you can move around.
Yeah, this is a run scoring spot. Batting 5th in your order. As Dansby shoots that into left field, a leadoff single to start the second. That's the first Braves hit. And Atlanta trying to get back even with Lopez here in the second inning. Good start for Dansby's night, his 3rd hit of the series.
So he gets a changeup up in the zone. Dansby puts a great swing on it. Lopez is lucky he didn't get any more air under that one. Good swing.
Austin Riley with 7 homers could tie the game with 1 swing of the bat. Marlins have pitched him tough. Austin's 1 for 18 against the Fish in the season series. And in for a strike, 0-1. Two runs on 4 hits for the Marlins. Braves have the Dansby Swanson hit and an Acuna leadoff walk. And you're right, Jeff. Everything this guy is throwing is boring in on the hands of the right-hand hitters.
That's 3rd right-hander now. Ozuna, and you can see even Alfaro. I think that's hurting his thumb a little bit. Curveball from Pablo. You don't see that too much. It's not one of his go-to pitches.
Just something for the hitter to think about.
I would imagine he might try to bury that 2-seamer back in right here.
Riley awaits another 1-2 pitch. He's pulling his fastball, isn't he?
Yeah, he was trying to go in there. He's got some in there to those righties, but he is pulling some down low and away. Saw that to Ronald. He got Ronald 0-2 and then walked him.
And another 3-2. He's not been able to throw his fastball for strikes in the early going. Changeup's been good. Let's see what he chooses on a 3-2 count. Let's see if Swanson's running. Riley's a strikeout candidate, so got to be careful here. Another quarter step on that lead. He is going. The pitch is fouled away.
Yeah, I like the call here. You're trying to get Austin to put the ball in play. Pablo's said it before, big time ground ball pitcher. And the way Austin's swinging the bat, trust him that he's going to put it in play.
Runner goes again, and inside, no chance for the Marlins to make a play. It's a single and a walk back to back, and the Braves have their first scoring threat of the night. Adam Duvall's coming up. Let's take a look at tonight's Synovus Greatness Made Here feature. There's nothing wrong with the Atlanta offensive attack.
No, the Padres and Dodgers are the only teams that have scored more runs. The Braves have the highest average in and OPS versus fastballs in baseball.
That's Mel Stottlemyre Jr., the Marlins pitching coach. His starting staff has the 4th best ERA in the game. Bet you wouldn't have known that. Marlins collectively a 3.80 ERA out of their starters. Lopez comes in at 3.05 in the ERA column. And a long meeting continues here with Lopez laboring 30 pitches, and he doesn't have it out in the inning. And now we're in that 7, 8, 9 stretch for Atlanta, Jeff, that you said was, number one, a very different look, but one that can sting you if you're not careful.
Yeah, you get the next two guys in Duvall and Ozzie, who will be making his first AB from coming back. But you got firepower down here at the bottom of the lineup.
Adam Duvall, 1 hit in the series. It was a game-tying homer in the opener on Monday afternoon.
A long one, too.
Yeah, second level of the Chattahoochee Falls. Shift on for Adam. Good speed aboard for the Braves, who are down too early to Pablo Lopez and the Marlins. Here comes the pitch. Right now they have the luxury of waiting him out.
Yeah, look, he's missing low and in on the changeup. Fastball, he's missing low away. So I do agree here. You got to be selective if you're Adam.
.95 center cut and fouled away.
Yeah, good swing.
He's got away with a couple of those. One to Ozuna, one here to Duvall, as Ozzie Albies waits on deck. His first at bat coming since August the 4th. And he's got great velocity, but cannot find the mark. 3-1 the count. Boy, again, speaking of small strike zones, Duvall has put himself in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and a guy that doesn't shoot himself in the foot too much. Pablo's done a pretty good job this year of throwing strikes, not walking guys, but yeah, you don't want to let him out of this trap.
And ball 4. They are loaded. Wow, what a way for Ozzie Albies to make his return. His first at bat will come with the bases loaded and nobody out in the second inning. And a man that hardly walks anybody has walked 3 men in an inning plus. Well, we know Ozzie can hit the ball out of the ballpark with the bases loaded. Braves would be happy with a hit of any kind. Good take. Make him throw you a strike.
Yeah, and Ozzie, look, 4 grand slams. You see that with his career. An aggressive hitter, but I think, as you said, Chip, he's got to find a way to make Pablo throw some balls over the plate.
Almost hit him. Man, he has missed glove side with that pitch all night.
And now he's thrown 37 pitches, 19 balls to 18 strikes.
So the job of that man is to try to find something Lopez can go to here. Behind in the count, 2-0. He's looking for his first hit against the Marlins this year. The 2-0. Downstairs, ball 3. And you saw that grand slam total. Of the 4 Ozzie has hit, 2 have come against the Marlins.
Yeah, and look, you know, this is a Braves team that loves hitting 3-0, loves hitting the fastball, but I think you got to take one here, maybe.
So a huge pitch and a huge sequence for Lopez now. 3 balls and a strike. Ozzie in control with the bases loaded. Ender Inciarte waits on deck. Braves were shut out yesterday, went 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position on Monday and left the bases loaded 3 times in the series opener. Now the 3-2. Fouled at the plate. First the wrist, now somewhere in the leg or foot for Ozzie Albies. That's usually the way the game works.
And not even running it. Runners in scoring position. We talk about it a lot. The Braves with a runner on third, less than 1 out, have struggled this year. A good opportunity here to get a couple in and tie the ball game up.
So the count was 3-0. Now it's 3-2 for the Braves second baseman. Here it is. Little roller. Cooper is going to charge and flip to the pitcher covering. Albies will pick up an RBI as Swanson scores. He puts it in play. The other runners move up 90 feet, so a productive out, and the Braves are on the board. 7th RBI for Ozzie.
Yeah, not only that, you got the runners over to second, third, so now you give Ender a chance. That was a changeup, pretty good after seeing nothing but fastballs for Ozzie to be able to put this in play. Dansby so fast from third. Smart move here by Cooper just to get the easy out.
Ender with a hit would get into double digits in RBIs. Fly ball could tie the game with Austin Riley 90 feet away. The pitch. Fly ball towards center. Marte drifts back. That'll be plenty deep enough to get the game tied. Tagging moving to third and close play and not in time. Oh, that was close. Adam Duvall called safe on a bang bang play. Ender Inciarte on the first pitch delivers a sacrifice fly, and we're tied at 2. The Marlins are going to check.
And let's hope they don't check and challenge if he is, because if they did, Austin Riley had not crossed home plate yet before he got tagged out.
Well, a strong throw from Marte. I
think they're going to take a look at this one.
Anderson with a quick tag. And Don Mattingly.
I think he's going to tell him, too, to check home plate. Telling him that he hadn't crossed yet, Chip.
So Don Mattingly out with Hunter Wendelstedt to explain what exactly he wants challenged here. First things first.
See, watch right when he tags him here. You can see Austin. Got him. He hadn't crossed yet.
So if this call is changed, not only will it be the third out of the inning at third base, but the run won't score and the Marlins would maintain the lead. And did Duvall slide on top of the foot? Nope, looks like he got to the bag. The only question is, did the tag beat him? Call at the play. was safe. So there has to be enough evidence to overturn the call by Vic Carapazza. The oldest saying in baseball, don't make the third out at third base. If you're going to go, you better be sure you get there. And a strong throw from Marte in center made it a lot closer than Duvall could have anticipated.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, with no outs, it's one thing, Chip, when you're trying to do that and move up, but with already one out, you know, Adams already in scoring position for Ronald coming up. And look, Ender did his job, got a fly ball to the outfield like he was supposed to.
So the verdict is in, and he is safe. All right, thank you very much. Apparently not enough to overturn the call. It stands on the field. Duvall moves up 90 feet, give Ender his 9th RBI, and the Braves have tied it up.
Yes, and one of those is just wasn't enough evidence. They couldn't tell when his foot hit the bag or when he tagged him.
Can't make a better throw.
Oh, and look, we saw he got the tag down right on it, but it's one of those plays. If he calls him out originally, he probably stays out. He called him safe, got the benefit of the call.
So Atlanta rallies to tie the game. They get 2 runs, 1 hit. They're not done yet. Here's Acuna, who walked to start the game. And one thing we've known about the Marlins, they are not afraid to pitch Acuna inside, whether it's Urena or Lopez or Sanchez last night. They don't want him extending his arms. The 1-1 pitch.
Yeah, they're trying to get Ronald in. He's had good success off Pablo. 4 for 11 with 2 homers in his career.
Three-man shift left side on the infield for Acuna. The pitch. Ooh. A rare high strike not called. Thank you very much. Ronald will take that. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd take that one again, though.
Again, pick your poison. You've got Acuna in the box. You've got Freddie Freeman on deck. Braves have tied the game with 2 runs thanks to 1 hit and 2 walks. And here it is. Smoked foul. Stay in foul ground, Adam.
Oh, the Braves done a good job making more. This will be his 30th pitch coming up this inning. So going to be at 50 pitches after this one. A lot of stressful pitches.
And that's the one question mark I think the Marlins have. As good as their rotation has been, their bullpen has had some issues. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And another walk. Acuna is aboard. Lopez has walked 4 men in an inning and 2/3. He'd walked 9 men all year. And now Don Mattingly has to face Freeman. 1st and 3rd, 2 out. Freddie popped up his first time up. Again, trying to get to 1,500 hits. He's 2 away from that. There are 7 Braves in the modern era who have earned 1,500 or more hits in this franchise's history. As a Brave, the pitch. Freddie jumps on the first one, drives it to right, and a diving try can't be made. Harrison couldn't make the play. Duvall scores. Acuna on his way to third. He'll stand there safely, and Atlanta's taken the lead. Hit number 1499 for Freeman earns him his 33rd RBI.
Great job by Freddie. Not a horrible pitch, got it in, but Freddie's so quick with his hands. Harrison with a good try. I'll tell you what though, Chip, he's lucky that came up and hit that. If that goes under, Ronald's scoring and Freddie's at least getting to third. And how big was that call at third base now?
It's huge.
You went from 2-1, Marlins being out of the inning, Lopez being out of that jam, to now it's 3-2, first and third, and Marcel up.
And Miami's bullpen goes to work with a long inning for Lopez. And grounded foul. Let's see if Acuna makes the play. Yep, he did.
Well, that's one thing with a pitcher who's still fairly young, and Pablo Lopez, 32 pitches this inning. You start to wonder how much that will take out of him. You've seen guys throw 37, 38 pitches, and that's it. They're not going to send him back out.
The Braves have the lead now. 3 runs, 2 hits, 3 walks so far. And all of a sudden, after the first inning, Lopez just has not been able to command anything. Even during that first inning, he was effectively wild with a couple of strikeouts. 25 balls out of 53 pitches. Little pop. Shallow left. Long run Brinson. He's not going to get there. That drops in. And the Braves are first and thirding the Marlins to death. Ozuna with a bloop single earns him an RBI. And the Braves extend the lead. A 4-run Atlanta second turns the game around.
We saw Marcel having trouble laying off that inside pitch at first at bat. Couldn't do it there again, but the old saying, hit it where they're not.
Well, it would have gone farther, but it got stuck on the pine tar. For Ozuna, who has 37 RBIs. And one would think Lopez is not much longer at this pace. Darno, the 9th man to hit in the inning.
I think this, if Darno's able to reach, this might be it. Dansby led off the inning with that bullet to left.
High fly ball to left. Brinson going back to the track, to the wall. He cannot get it. A 3-run homer by Darno. Freeman ambushed him. Darno ambushed him. And the Braves have a gigantic inning. 7 runs are in. Still 2 out.
Freddie got a fastball in when he got him. Here's that changeup. Travis knew he'd hit it good. Just, I think he was wondering if he'd hit it too high. That ball carried out just enough.
So now Alfaro, on instructions from the dugout, goes to the mound. He'll buy some more time. Don Mattingly waiting for the high sign that his reliever is ready. Hand on the rail. Home plate umpire going out for a quick visit. And now Mattingly will slowly make his way to the center of the diamond in Atlanta. Pablo Lopez did not have it tonight. 55 pitches. Did not have control at all. He's walked 4 men. He's surrendered 7 runs. The first time this year he's given up more than 2 earned runs in a game. And it's just one of those days for the young Marlins right-hander. Atlanta takes advantage. A huge inning, and it's still continuing. 7-2 your score.
Was brought to you by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. And by the All-South Highway Safety Team. Always wear your seatbelt.
Well, that's more like it. The Braves with 7 runs across here in the second inning. They have chased Pablo Lopez, who gives up 7 earned runs or more for the second time in his career. And Atlanta with a chance to take one of 3 games head-to-head with Miami in this 3-game series. Now they'll feast their eyes on Jordan Yamamoto. He came over in that big Yelich deal with Milwaukee. Yamamoto out of Hawaii.
Had a decent year last year, got off to a bad start this year and has really scuffled. Last appearance was all the way back in August 17th.
Yamamoto started his big league career with 14 consecutive scoreless innings. His first 2 starts were back-to-back against the Cardinals. He pitched against the Braves last year. I think he beat him. To check that too. He had an impressive game against Atlanta. And the first man he faces in this 2nd inning is the man that started it, Dansby Swanson, up for the 2nd time. Man takes one under the chin. 2 balls, no strikes. You're seeing a pattern. The Marlins are trying to pitch inside. They've got the arms to do it. Everything's been running inside. That one up and in. And Yamamoto got a no decision in a 6-inning start against the Braves. Didn't give up a run. That was very early in his career. Another line drive from Dansby. He's 2 for 2 in the inning.
Same exact place he hit the first one. I would say he likes that 5th hole.
That is one confident looking hitter at the plate. That one bounced up there for Austin Riley. He walked and scored. He came home on the sac fly from Ender. That bang bang play that went the Braves' way at third base. A huge play in this game. Remember, had Duvall been called out, it would be a 2-1 game in favor of Miami. But the roof has caved in on the Marlins. Love it. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And I'll say it's nice for once. I feel like a replay call went our way.
Riley, the 11th man to hit. Smoke to left. Just a bit out in front. And Riley down to his last strike. Braves needed this. As you said, Jeff, they were, number one, very impressed with Sixto Sanchez last night, but no team likes to get shut out, not in a divisional game with all that's at stake between the Braves and Marlins, the Braves and the Phillies. They have answered the bell tonight fantastically. Runner at first, Swanson's going. The pitch in the dirt. Alfaro's throw strong but late, and Dansby has another stolen base, his 5th of the year.
And one thing this team has always done good, even when lose 4 out of 5, lost these 2, they're always able to kind of put it behind them, chip, show up and play. A good jump by Dansby, and I credit that a lot. Freddie, the veteran guys on this team, you know, we got to win. Got to keep going. There's only 2.5 weeks left.
That's it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And fouled back. So when we talked about every game being so important in a 60-game schedule, well, with 16, 17 games left, even more so now. We are truly in the home stretch of this 2020 regular season. The pitch, and that bounces up there. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
But still a lot of game left. 2nd inning. Got to keep scoring.
Line drive, left field, another hit. Dansby a late break. They're going to wave him around. Here he comes. Throw headed to the plate, too high, and it's an 8-2 Atlanta lead. Yamamoto has faced 2 hitters. Both of them have singled. That was in his happy zone.
Yeah, slider kind of spinning.
So Riley's second hit against the Marlins, an RBI single. And Adam Duvall is the batter. He walked and scored his first time. Fly ball toward right center. Harrison on the run, still going. That ball is in the bullpen. What an inning for Atlanta. They are destroying the Marlins' first pitches. Freeman with an RBI hit on the first pitch. D'Arnaud a 2-run homer on a first pitch. Now Duvall. And the Braves have scored 10, and they're not done yet.
Same thing they did in Philly that night. 10 in the second inning. It's a fastball that kind of backed up. Adams stayed through it. So nice. Wow.
So 3 runs tacked on for Jordan Yamamoto. The Braves have scored 10 to race a 2-0 deficit. And a generous corner there for strike 1.
I think something to keep an eye on too for Tommy Malone coming out next inning. We saw in Philly he had to sit for a while. Pablo threw 35 pitches, now Yamamoto 13, so that's what, 48 pitches, now 49 pitches that they've thrown this inning.
This is a 36-minute half inning. So I guess that Malone could go down to the cage, the batting cage, and play catch a little bit to stay loose, but he's been sitting for over a half an hour now.
I promise you he does not mind.
No.
Keep scoring, he's saying.
What did Jack Morris say? I've never lost with 10?
Yep, give me as many as you can. I'll sit another 15 minutes.
2-1 pitch. And that's fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's out of play foul. That other 10-run inning against the Phillies was in Malone's debut. So if he pitches every 3rd or 4th start and gets 10 runs, you like the Braves' chances.
Be all right.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Ozzie wants time. Yamamoto ready, and here she comes. Out at the plate.
I'll tell you what, the Marlins outfielders have got their conditioning in this inning.
Oh yeah, look at them.
Hands on the knees, they're tired.
And the toll that takes on a defense. You're on your feet for over half an hour. That might cost them a step or maybe 2. And chasing down a baseball. Jazz Chisholm doesn't look too happy. And another 2-2 pitch. Lifted out of play, foul again. I guarantee you after this game, if the Braves win it, Ozzie's going to walk into the locker room afterward and say, look, I show up, you get 10 runs. What's the big deal?
It's not hard.
Right? We told you he was the spark plug. He's 0 for 1, but does have an RBI. And the pitch. He checked it. Another 3-ball count.
Yeah, look, Ozzie got it started by just putting the ball in play. Bases loaded, no outs. Fouled off a couple tough fastballs and then put a changeup to first. Started the rally.
7 hits, 3 walks, and 2 homers for the Braves in this long second inning. The pitch. Fly ball left center. Marte on his horse. He's going to turn. That one's going to sail out of here. Welcome back, Ozzie Albies. Look at the smile for Ron Washington as Ozzie circles the bases. An 11-run inning. And another visit from Mel Stottlemyre as the Braves have unloaded on Jordan Yamamoto with 4 runs, 4 hits, and 2 homers.
What a bat too, Chip. 9 pitches. Fouled off a bunch and then drove one to left center.
Ten of these 11 runs have come after that fateful review call at third base. Think about that.
It's a fastball center cut. Say these Braves hitters, it's something about going on the IL and coming back, hitting a home run.
Yeah, Acuna did it once.
Garrett Cole, he comes back after, you know, even Ronald missed, what, 10 days? Ozzie's missed a month.
Well, you know, he's thrilled about that. His second home run. Braves have scored 11 times in the inning. That one sailed out of here 424 feet. His first homer since July 26 when he homered off Paul Sewald of the Mets in New York. Braves record is 13 runs in an inning. They did that in 1972, back when Houston was a National League team and the Braves and Astros played in the National League West.
Having some fun with Wash. 11's the most runs by a team in one inning this year.
Ender and Ciarte. Funny to think that in a game that's 11-2, a sacrifice fly and an ensuing review would be the biggest play in the game.
And like you said, the fact that they've gone on to score 10 runs after that with 2 outs.
3-2 pitch is on the ground. Cooper retreats and he will mercifully take it to the bag as Atlanta celebrates an enormous inning. 11 runs. Braves up 9. For the Atlanta Braves, who scored 11 times in the second inning. A 42-minute half inning that saw 14 men come to the plate. And now we'll see how sharp Tommy Milone is. This, I guess, a mixed blessing for him. He's got a 9-run lead. He's had to sit and cool his heels, and he's got to pitch 5 innings to qualify for the win. So we'll see what gives as he starts things off with Starling Marte. He was 0 for 1. That got the umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, I mean, not ideal for a starting pitcher to sit that long, but with that being said, you know, Tommy just went through this about, what, a little less than 2 weeks ago. And he's a veteran type guy, so should be all right.
So he can fill up the zone with strikes at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're up 11-2, make him hit.
Yeah. So it's not the only big offensive game in the major leagues today. As this one on the ground on 1 hop to Dansby. Marte flies to first, but he's a step late, 1 out. Tough day in Detroit for the Tigers. Milwaukee beat them today 19-0. So here it's 11-2 Atlanta, trying to take 1 out of 3 against Miami. And Aguilar, the batter, he's the man that hit that deep drive to right center that bounced off Ender's glove at the right center field fence. He had a long way to go to try to catch up to it and actually overran the ball. And Aguilar motored into second with his 6th double. Braves tonight wrapping up their next to last homestand of regular season play. Big road trip coming up tomorrow. They have 4 on the road in Washington, D.C. against the Nationals.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's even more important for Tommy to fill up the zone with strikes tonight. Give him at least 6.
And he can throw that pitch all night and see what Miami can do with it. Marlins got 2 runs in the second. A single by Alfaro and a triple by Jazz Chisholm. And then Pablo Lopez had all kinds of trouble. Biggest play of the game, a sac fly. Adam Duvall was called safe on a close play at third base, which would have been the 3rd out before Austin Riley had scored what proved to be the tying run. Apparently not enough evidence to change that call, so instead of the Marlins escaping with a 2-1 lead, they saw 10 more runs come across for Atlanta. Amazing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases empty, and there's that change. Malone has his 3rd strikeout, 2 quick outs.
Good changeup. That's what Tommy's going to do. He's going to keep throwing it out there, Chip. You might lay off 1, you even might lay off 2, but eventually he's going to try to get you to swing at that pitch.
Did you see Aguilar?
Yeah, he's not happy.
Said, come on, throw me a fastball. You don't have to, don't throw it. Here's Anderson, who flied out his first time up. Brian's a good player, good athlete. Saw him play right field a lot for Miami last year. Now they've got him at the hot corner where they think he's got a chance to flourish. And with all the young outfielders they have coming up, the best spot for him. Another change. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Nationals are off tonight, by the way. They're sitting back and scouting this game out, I would think. Meanwhile, the Mets are in action, losing to Baltimore. The Orioles are red hot. Braves will see them on the upcoming road trip.
And Camden Yards.
Baltimore 5, Mets 1. That game's in the 4th. The Orioles have won 6 of 8. And can you believe this? The Orioles, who lost over 100 games last year, are a half game behind the Yankees for an American League playoff spot.
Only in 2020.
Nobody saw that coming. Luckily, though, we're almost 7/10 of the way through the 2020 calendar year, right?
We are.
Don't walk him, Tommy. 2 outs, 3-2 pitch. And rolled foul. That's off the screen. Another payoff. Line toward left center field. That's going to get down. Can Duvall cut it off? He can. And Anderson has his first hit of the night. It comes with 2 outs in the Marlins' 3rd.
Got a change up off the plate. Sounded like he might have broke his bat, hit it off the end, but enough to get it in the gap.
Here's Cooper. He's in scoring position in the batter's box. This guy's got big time power. Watch out for him. He doubled and scored his first time up. And that's in for a strike, 0-1.
And I think he's letting the umpire have it. He did not appreciate that call off the plate. So go right back there.
Umpires will let you have your say as long as you're not looking at them, generally speaking, right?
Yeah, and I think even more this year just because there's no fans.
Yeah. And as long as there's not a pronoun involved, you're usually in pretty good shape. As Malone checks the runner at first. Anderson's not going anywhere, down 9 runs. Another outside corner, perfectly placed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And you see him shaking his head. He's still not happy. I'd go right back out there, whether it's that fastball or changeup.
So 1-2. A little farther off. Not a bad try. Even count. Braves have their third 10-run inning. Both of them have come when this man has towed the rubber. Tommy Malone. There have been 4 10-run innings in Major League Baseball this year. The Blue Jays have done it once. The Indians have done it once.
Well, for the Braves, the 11 runs they scored that last inning, most since 2004 against the Mets.
As we like to say, Jeff, couldn't have done it with you. That season, the pitch is on the way, and Cooper takes it inside, full count. So the payoff with Anderson running, and Cooper takes outside. Boy, he flipped the bat away in disgust.
That's what I don't understand. You know, whatever.
Wait a minute. Wait.
You know, the guy yells at you. You do that. He puts it right there. Ring him up. Right?
It might have been a little low, but I agree with you. If the batter's going to yell at you, you don't deserve any breaks, right?
No.
Come on. So a 2-out walk that pushes the pitch count up. Malone over 60 now. Here's Brinson, who struck out his first time up. That's the surest way to get these guys back in the game. Start walking people. And in the dirt, ball 1.
Jeff, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I got a question based on what Chip just said, which I highly agree with. How come the hitter can yell at the umpire, but the pitchers can't? I stumped you, didn't I?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I don't know, because y'all show them up because they see y'all yelling. We can yell under our breath when they can't see us.
That's what I would think. I mean, if the pitcher's
and
yelling,
y'all already get enough calls anyways.
Oh,
okay,
boy,
okay.
You asked me my opinion.
But I would guess, Bertie, the camera can see the pitcher looking into the umpire. If the hitter's staring out at the pitcher and saying what he is going to say, no one can confirm or deny that that conversation's taken place.
Bertie, I would guess, so. You know, Maddox used to yell at him all the time, even when he pitched.
John Lester does it a lot
really,
too.
Yeah, never stopped him.
Well, it was kind of funny, and when they really wanted to yell, they would look at the dugout, and Bobby Cox would take over for him.
Yeah, that's why he got ejected a full season's worth of games.
He always said Maddox was good for a third of those.
2 balls, 1 strike for Lewis Brinson, the Marlins left fielder. And a high fly ball that's well hit to left. Duvall's not getting it, and with 2 outs, the Marlins come back and score 3 runs. It's now an 11-5 game. Walks and then homers, a bad combination. This Marlins team with 2 outs has been awfully good this year. All of their runs tonight have come with 2 outs, and it's an 11-5 game with a lot of baseball left.
One of the few curveballs you see Tommy throw.
So Monty Harrison, the batter. Monty struck out his first time up. And lost his helmet on the 69th pitch thrown by Tommy Malone. He's well over 30 of those pitches in this inning.
Yeah, it's not what you wanted him to be. At least 70 pitches through 3 at minimum.
And a swing and a miss puts out the fire, but a single, a walk, and a 3-run homer for Lewis Brinson brings the Marlins closer. The Braves lead is now 6. It's Roberto Clemente Day, which recognizes one player from each club who best represents the game through positive contributions on and off the field. And congratulations to Freddie Freeman, the Braves 2020 Roberto Clemente Award nominee. Visit MLBcommunity.org and learn more. I think this is a wonderful tribute to a wonderful humanitarian, Roberto Clemente. You see all the players wearing the number 21 patch on their uniforms. All players of Puerto Rican descent are allowed to wear number 21 today. The Pirates are doing that. As Ronald Acuna leads off for Atlanta.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to go up to Pittsburgh up there and see the Roberto Clemente Bridge, it's a great spot up there.
And as much as we rightfully celebrate, as this ball is bounced up the middle by Acuna for a base hit, he's aboard for a 3rd time. Yamamoto is getting clobbered in relief. Baseball's retired Jackie Robinson's number 42. I firmly believe that Roberto Clemente's number should be retired by our game.
It'd be hard to argue, I'll tell you that.
You just look at the man's numbers and obviously his tragic passing. This is a man who is a 15-time All-Star, 3,000 hits, batting title winner
on the
4
button,
times.
right? Yeah, 3,000 on the button.
And what many fans may not know, and there was a tie to Jackie Robinson here, Roberto Clemente was not born and raised a Pittsburgh Pirate. He was a Rule 5 draft pick from the Brooklyn Dodgers, I beg your pardon. And the man that plucked him from Brooklyn, well, the general manager of the Pirates, was none other than Branch Rickey. Think about how that history comes full circle.
Now Freddie's definitely very deserving of that award.
And if Freddie wins it overall, he would become the 4th Brave to win the Roberto Clemente Award, which used to be called the Commissioner's Award. First was Phil Niekro. In fact, Phil Niekro, Nuxie, was the first pitcher to win the Clemente Award back in 1980.
I know Smoltz won it one year.
He did in 2005, and sandwiched in between, no surprise, Dale Murphy.
Yep.
And as fortunate as we are to know those guys, it's not a surprise they won it. 2 balls and a strike. Freddie, during the COVID pandemic, such great work helping with the Atlanta area community food banks. $125,000 contribution, and I loved his comments when asked about it in our open a little while ago. As this ball is launched deep right center field. Did he get enough? He did. A line drive home run. Bombs away in Atlanta, GA. One away to pick up number 1,500 major league hits.
We got to go get Birdie on that ball to make sure he gets it for him. 1,500.
Two grand slams in a week and his 1,500th hit. What a homestand for Freddie Freeman. On his way perhaps to a Hall of Fame career, and he's already a Hall of Fame person. Look at the congratulations on the Braves bench. The Braves get some of those runs right back. 11 runs in the second, 2 here in the third. It's a shootout. 13-5 Atlanta.
And we're in the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
Just got a spinner. And I knew he had smoked the Chip. I just didn't know if it was going to be high enough to get out of here.
Just enough. As Yamamoto has pitched an inning, has pitched a third of an inning. He's given up 3 homers. That's hard to do and still be in the game.
Well, I tell you what, he's going to be pitching still for a while. And I think that's why last thing you saw Mel Stoudemire go out there to try to calm him down. Because the second guy for them, they have to get some length out of him.
Out of play by Ozuna. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. 13 runs on 10 hits. In the Atlanta second, the Braves sent 14 to the plate and stayed in the batter's box for 42 minutes.
Talked on early in the game about the 1-2-3, the triple-headed monster. You see the home run ball.
Don't lose it, Birdie. Well, that's the authenticator.
They didn't let Birdie go out there.
Exactly. Swing and a miss. If Birdie had gone out there, we might not have heard from him the rest of the broadcast.
They might have took him away.
Yeah. So in this sad era without fans in the ballpark, one benefit is that
he's going to get that ball.
Hits, those will end up on the mantle somewhere.
Hey guys.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate your trust in me, but there is actually a home run baseball COVID protocol.
Really?
Yes. It must be picked up by an authenticator or one of the Braves memorabilia collectors, and they have to have a glove on their hand. If it is not picked up with a glove on the hand, it has to be quarantined for 4 days, the baseball.
I'll get you a pair of batting gloves, Birdie. You can go pick them up with those.
Yeah.
That's where I failed, Jeff.
Get some food.
I wasn't prepared.
Food service gloves, something like that. Put them in your backpack. Pitch to d'Arnaud, who's had a homer tonight. He's also struck out.
But moving Freddie up to that 2-hole today, Ozuna moves up to 3. Those 3 guys that we've talked about, all over 1,000 OPS, scored 5 runs so far tonight.
Yep, 3-headed monster has taken a big bite out of the Marlins. That one off the glove of Yamamoto. And Chisholm is there. We'll score that 1-4-3. And 2 men are out. And here's Dansby. Did a real good job hitting in the even numbered inning. He went 2 for 2 in the second inning. Let's see how he does here in the Braves third. First time Dansby has batted 5th as a starting player in his big league career. Braves scored 11 runs an inning ago. They've got 2 more here in the third. Mentioned Atlanta's heading to D.C. to play the Nationals tomorrow. Austin Voth is going to be the starter for the Nationals. The Braves have not announced who's starting tomorrow night's game, in large part because Brian Snitker wants to see who they have to use tonight. Josh Tomlin, Ian Anderson, and Kyle Wright will pitch games 2, 3, and 4 against the Nationals. And the Braves move down, or over, I should say, to Baltimore. And then finish up the road trip with our final 3 games with the Mets. There you go. Yes, he did. It's a 13-5 Atlanta lead. A milestone hit for Freddie Freeman comes in the 3rd inning. Told you tonight would be the night. 1,500th hit. A home run. And the Braves are blowing out the Fish.
Everybody, we continue our 5th annual Community Heroes Week, where the Atlanta Braves and Fox Sports South honor 5 incredible people in the community who are doing great things. 150 nominated. Here's one of them. Dave and Jennifer Newman with Operation Lunchbox. They were ambushed. Let's check out the video. Operation Lunchbox has fed 20,000 families since COVID-19 pandemic has come out. Way to go, Frenchie. Man, what a special thing they are doing, feeding people in the community. Special thanks to Kroger for chipping in $1,000 with gift cards. And I have to say to Braves Charities, very well done. This one's fantastic.
Great job, Bertie. Love Community Heroes Week. We'll have another great and well-deserving honoree tomorrow night as the Braves will mosey on up to Washington.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. And Peter Moylan came along with me, so he was a surprise guest. A lot of fun. It's these 5 nights getting to see everything. It's great what they do in the community, and glad we could honor them. Well deserved.
Jorge Alfaro is the Marlins hitter. He skies one to center. This one will be no trouble for Ender. And that is the first out in the top of the 4th inning. Let's see if Malone can have an easy frame. Tommy does not yet have a 1-2-3 inning. And he's got to pitch an inning and 2/3 with this lead to qualify for his 2nd win. As you know, the Braves starters don't have many wins from men not named Ian Anderson and Max Fried. Here's Jazz Chisholm. Chisholm thought he hit a homer last time up. Banged a ball off the Braves bullpen fence and glided into 3rd with a triple. His 2nd hit of the season and his 1st RBI.
Well, Tommy at 76 pitches, as you said, Chip, you want to get him the win first off, so get through 5. But like I said, every pitch for him right now, to me, saves that bullpen another pitch, another inning for this weekend when they go up to Washington.
The Nationals will look a little different when we see them tomorrow night. Howie Kendrick, strained hammy. He's a big part of their offense. He's on the IL as another shot hit toward the Braves bullpen. Ender on the run to the warning track, to the wall, won't get it. Jazz Chisholm has hit a home run. His first, and the Marlins pulled to within 13-6. There's that home run pop we saw him display in his AA numbers. He's hit the ball to the same spot in the park twice.
We're at 3 1/3, and there's already 6 home runs combined tonight. It's almost the same exact pitch he hit for a triple last time. Tried to go in with a fastball. Just out Ender's reach.
So a great night for the Marlins rookie shortstop. A triple and a homer, 2 RBIs and a run scored. Chisholm, a shortstop prospect, I should say. He's playing 2nd base tonight. I think he'll be the shortstop of the future. The shortstop of the present is Miguel Rojas, and he's in the batter's box. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quiet night so far for Rojas, who's had a big series. 5 for 9 coming in, 0 for 2 in his first 2 trips. He's up for the 3rd time in the 4th inning.
Well, for both these teams, this is definitely going the Braves' way, 13-6, but it's not your ideal getaway game.
No. Nope. Marlins have a 2.5, 3-hour flight back home. Braves have a long night ahead of them. The joys of flying to D.C., landing at Dulles Airport, and then an hour drive into downtown to get to the hotel, and then a game tomorrow while the Nationals are resting tonight. But if you win, you don't care about that. And for the Marlins, they're just happy to get back home where they'll play 15 games in 11 days. That smoked over shortstop. A hard hit ball by Miguel Rojas. So the dangerous part of the order is coming up for Miami. Here's Marte. One in, one on, one out. Marte, 2 ground outs. He's played pepper with Dansby Swanson twice. And now the Braves bullpen starts to stir. Somebody's gotten up to play catch. Looks like it might be Grant Dayton.
See if we can get another ground ball to Dansby and get a double play and get out of this inning.
$19 runs, 18 hits combined. We are in the 4th inning. A check of the runner. Here it comes. And a slow roller hit toward third. That is trickling foul, thankfully. Rojas back to first. Marte back to the box. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Braves starters have gone 4 or fewer innings in 23 of 42 starts. Astoundingly, they've pitched 3 or fewer innings in 11 starts this year. And this team is in first place. Malone trying to get through the 4th inning. That's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's where I think it's frustrating for, I'm sure, Snit. And I know Tommy, too. He'll tell you right now. But when you get that kind of lead to, you know, as I said, be able to get you through at least 5 and eat some innings.
The Braves as a team, I believe, have 8 quality starts. Eight of them. That's a 4.50 ERA, a quality start. The pitch. That one bounces away. And 2 are on with 1 out. Ball 4 to Marte. And here's Aguilar. He's got a double and a strikeout. Remembers the changeups from Malone last time that had him frustrated and tied up.
And I think this Snit just sending Travis out there, I think, to give Grant Dayton a little more time to make sure he's ready. And I think we're going to see Grant here.
Here comes Snit to the top step, and Tommy Malone had an 11-2 lead and cannot get out of the 4th inning. 3 1/3 innings, 6 runs, 8 hits. The 2 runners aboard are his responsibility. Another heavy load for the Braves bullpen in Game 3.
Is brought to you by Truist. BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, your local Toyota dealer. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
Well, one of the highlights for Atlanta on this Roberto Clemente night is Atlanta's nominee for that prestigious award, picking up his 1,500th career hit. Freddie Freeman with a home run accomplished that. Hopefully 13 runs will be enough for Atlanta. It's a 13-6 game. Miami has 2 on, 1 out, 1 in here in the 4th inning. Tommy Malone, a 3 1/3 inning performance, allowing 8 hits. And Grant Dayton will take over for him. Dayton last pitched on the 5th of September, 2 innings of 1 hit, scoreless ball.
And they're going to try to get at least 2 out of him here, I would imagine.
Well, if Aguilar wanted fastballs, he'll see a few from Dayton, who's got a good arm. Jesus 1 for 2 with a 2-base hit. These are the kinds of games I think you find out a lot about yourself, your team, and your opponent. Braves now in the strength of their pitching staff, the bullpen, with a 7-run lead. And the Marlins, scrappy bunch, trying to finish off a sweep. With all that they have coming up ahead, it would probably, Jeff, have been easy for them to concede this game down 11-2. They haven't done it.
No, and I think maybe, I don't want this to sound bad, but, you know, veteran teams, you might see a little more of a concession sometimes. But this is a young team, so, I mean, they're trying to do everything they can to show Don Mattingly they want to be a part of the future.
Good cut by Aguilar, fouled back, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And on the other side for the Braves, when you put up 13 runs in the first 3 innings, you'd like to believe you will have a, should I say, a little easier time winning the ball game. Hopefully Grant can put the fire out here and kill this rally.
Marlins run in the 4th on a Jazz Chisholm home run. Aguilar trying to do some more damage against Grant Dayton, the second Braves pitcher of the night. And he stays alive. Fought off a 77-mile-an-hour curveball. These are tough innings, I would think, for relief pitchers as well. You get a 9-run lead in the second. You would probably think, hey, maybe tonight I don't have to pitch. But Dayton got ready in a big hurry. He's in a big spot. Popped up. Freddie Freeman gives chase, but that's going to curl into the stands. We'll try again.
Well, and you have that luxury still now, but that's why Grant's coming in. He's going to try to put this out quick. Get this game back under control for Atlanta.
Brian Anderson's on deck. Dayton's 6th pitch. The 2-2. Outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Off speed, rifled toward right. Acuna is going to try to deke him. That ball is off the fence. 1 run's going to score. It's a relay race to third. They'll hold the runner. The throw back to third, and back safely standing is Starling Marte. Aguilar with a double off the right field wall brings the Marlins ever closer. It's 13-7 now.
Grant throws him a 3-2 curveball. That's a nice piece of hitting. Goes the other way with it. You see Ronald trying to deke him.
So the Marlins, with a base hit here, get right back in this game. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Anderson with a single and a run last time up. High fly toward right center. This one playable. That'll score a run. Acuna makes the catch, and the Braves concede the run. It's 13-8. Anderson's 21st RBI, and close the book on Malone. He allows 8 runs.
Well, you're trading out for a run, unfortunately, right now. You want to get out of this inning, Chip. Kept Aguilar at 2nd, who's not a real fast runner. But you're facing Cooper, who's had a great series so far and good at bats tonight. He's had a double and a walk.
And he scored twice. So Atlanta had an 11-2 lead. The only inning in which these offenses have not scored is the first. Both of them. 21 runs, 19 hits. To right, and Ronald says he's got it, and he does, and that will retire the side. Miami answers with 3 in the top of the 4th inning. It's now a 5-run game. Dugout Lounge will be open in 2021 with mesh seats close to the action. It's the Sugarlands at Chipper's Corner feature here at Truist Park. It's air conditioned with Chipper memorabilia, craft beer selections, free popcorn and ice cream. All the info is available at braves.com/dugout. Austin Riley leads off. First pitch, ground ball to third. Anderson's got it. Long toss across on the money. And that's how the home 4th starts for Atlanta, with Riley retired for the first time, 1 away. Here's Duvall. Again, the key play in this game came in the 2nd inning. On a sacrifice fly to center by Ender Inciarte, Adam Duvall tagged up, moved from 2nd to 3rd, with Riley trying to score. Duvall was called safe on a very close play. At the time, the Marlins led 2-1. After Miami challenged the out call at third base, the call stood. He was safe. Riley scored to tie the game. After that, the Braves scored 10 more runs in the 2nd.
10 more. That's with 2 outs.
With 2 outs. Unfortunately, the Marlins have outscored the Braves 6-2 since that stretch to make it a 5-run game. So it's 13-8. And that's in for a strike from Yamamoto, who's been clobbered to the tune of 6 runs, including 3 homers in an inning and 2/3. The way this one's gone, the biggest advantage the Braves might have are twofold. One, the Braves bullpen, and secondly, they bat last.
No, and you're right. I mean, look, you got that whole bullpen arsenal down there still for Atlanta, so in great shape. But I'm sure with a 4-game series, you wouldn't necessarily want to use all your bullets down there.
And that one not close. Duvall takes a walk. He's aboard via base on balls for the 2nd time. That is Yamamoto's first free pass of the night. And it's great to have Ozzie back in the 2nd inning. Welcome back. Our StatCast feature presented by Google Cloud.
Yeah, 2nd at bat back. 9-pitch at bat. You see that extra velocity, 424 feet. Ozzie drives it to center, left center, as good as any little guy in the game.
Right across the shoe tops, and Ozzie couldn't resist. Strike 1. Earlier in the game, you might recall, Dansby Swanson stole a base with a 7-2 lead. More on that in a second. The 0-1 count. As Ozzie's got another hit, this one to right field. Duvall on his way to 2nd. He's going to round. And the throw not cut off, and Adam makes it to 3rd on a close play. Albee stops at 1st. Atlanta's got him at the corners with 1 out. The point of that was Dansby's play. The way the ball is flying in this ballpark, you cannot take anything for granted. You've got to just continue to keep the accelerator to the floorboard.
Then look, they did right here. Ozzie with the hit. Very aggressive base running again by Adam, which I like. Force Brinson to make a good throw. You see he bobbled it a little bit. And now you get back to 3rd where a sac fly or anything, Chip, something to the outfield, gets you another run.
Yeah, just keep adding on.
You have to tonight.
Ender with a sac fly that we talked about a couple of times in the second. He's also grounded out. Both of those at bats came 2 innings ago. Off speed, a floater and a beauty. Strike one for the Braves center fielder. Even though it's a big lead, you still got to play baseball. Braves have gone first to third a lot.
And even for Ender here, a soft ground ball to second base with his speed, they won't be able to turn 2. That'll get you a free run.
That's pulled foul into the Braves dugout. Everybody all right down there? Yep. 1-2. 59 pitches for Yamamoto. He has allowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. Among those 59 pitches, 3 of them home runs.
Yeah, Lopez only allowed 4 hits, but he also sprinkled in 4 walks in his 1 2/3, so that killed him.
Acuna waiting on deck, barring a double play. First and third, 1 out. Ozzy's running. The pitch is high. No throw from Alfaro. Smart play by Atlanta. Stay out of the twin killing. And Ozzy's come back with a little bit of everything. Good defense. Home run. Single, now a steal.
And this will probably bring, it'll bring the infield defense in. Good job to stay out of the double play. Now you see the infield come in. They're going to go home right here.
The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Pulled a string on him, and Ender is the second out. Well, the Marlins needed that. Tough break for Ender. And now everybody can back up for Acuna, which I'm sure the infielders appreciate.
It's a fastball down the middle that beat Ender to the spot.
Perfect night for Acuna. 2 walks, 2 runs, and a single. And he is tonight's Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot feature.
33% of his hits versus Miami have been home runs. His last 14 games overall, 1410 OPS with 8 homers. Doing some damage.
And a chance for more of it here with 2 outs. Freddie Freeman's on deck as Yamamoto trying to hang on for dear life in a 13-8 game. He's thrown 2 of those back to back. Make it 3 in a row. That's been his most effective pitch. 0-2. Albies at second. Adam Duvall at third. Nothing and two. Here she comes. Nothing but breaking balls to Acuna here. Don't blame the Marlins for that. As good a hitter as Acuna is on the fastball. Now the 1-2.
Ooh.
That looked like a strike.
Yeah, I think if Faro catches that, I think he probably does have strike three. That was a good pitch. I think it surprised Ronald with the fact that it was on the inside part. That's a pitch that, as you said, Chip, he continues to throw Ronald. See if he throws it again.
Let's find out. Fastball fouled away at 91.
Yeah, usually you'd see 67 pitches for Yamamoto at a point right now. Little do you know he's the second pitcher tonight.
Yeah, he's thrown 2 innings. 8 base runners. That'll kill your whip. The pitch is low, full count. Acuna now a pitch away from earning his 3rd walk of the game. And nobody is up in the Marlins pen. Freddie Freeman is up in the Atlanta on deck circle, licking his chops at the thought of perhaps a 3rd grand slam. Remember, he did not have a grand slam in his 10-year career until this week.
That curveball seems to be the pitch he wants to throw Ronald. We'll see if he does it.
Payoff. Here she comes. Fastball missed badly. Acuna is aboard for the 4th time. And now the Marlins have to face Freddie with the bases loaded. So you want to be a major league manager.
Yeah, I mean, look, as you said, it's the 2nd pitcher of the game for them. 2 innings he's throwing now. Chip, 69 pitches. And now he just walked to get to one of the best hitters in baseball.
So how about hit 1501? Freddie has a 2-run homer. He has a run-scoring single. He scored twice. So 35 RBIs and 8 homers for Freeman. Freddie is reeling this kid in. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-1. He's got to throw a strike or the Braves will have their 14th run. So now it gets real fun. Acuna at first, Albies at second, Duvall at third, Freeman in the batter's box. With bases loaded, 2 outs, they'll all be running.
Yeah, and a ball kind of in the gap, not even getting all the way to the outfield with Ronald going, might score him all the way from first.
There they go. And Freddie smokes it to second. It fooled Jazz Chisholm. He was screened by Acuna. The ball into shallow right center. Acuna runs through the red light. The throw goes to the Marlins on deck circle, and Atlanta gets 3 runs out of that.
Well, I was thinking there'd be a RBI a little different way for him to score all 3, Chip. But he absolutely hit that ball so hard. And Ronald, while he was running, blocked Chisholm's view a little bit. Tough play regardless. And look, Ronald never stops. He sees it. I know Wash put the stop sign up, but Ronald knew exactly where that ball was and kept running.
Don't know that I've seen 3 runs score on a ball that ended up 20 feet from the outfield grass. So I'm assuming that's going to be a base hit for Freddie. It's a double, and give Freddie 3 more RBIs tonight. That's 6 for the game. And Yamamoto has given up 8. This is unbelievable. Lopez gave up 7 to start. Yamamoto's given up 8. Tommy Malone has given up 8.
And that's the thing that, you know, you get to 3-2, 2 outs like that, Chip. The runners are moving, and like I said, Ronald did a great job of literally never stopping. When he rounded second, he saw exactly where that ball was, looked where center field and right field were, and knew I can score all the way there.
So a career high night in RBIs for Freddie Freeman, who has 6 of Atlanta's 16. And the Braves have doubled up Miami. Here's Ozuna. And he unloads to left.
So here's the replay. Watch right here. Ronald goes right here. Watch him look. You see him look right there. So he knows the second baseman can't get it. And you see Wash put the stop sign up, but at that point Ronald was flying. Great base running. Heads up.
Popped up. In comes Harrison, and he is there, and that puts out another Braves rally. 3 more runs come across. Wild night in Atlanta. 16-8. Freeman, you'll be able to find out all about that on the Fox Sports Go app, where you can stream Braves baseball live. It's presented by T-Mobile. A career high 6 RBI game for Freddie Freeman, who's picked up his 1500th major league hit tonight. Grant Dayton back to work. He has an 8-run lead. And if he can get either a 1-2-3 inning or a scoreless inning, we're going to name him the player of the game.
Hands down.
Because there's only been a pair of half innings in which neither offense scored. That was the very first inning of this game, which was, by the way, 2 hours and 20 minutes ago.
Game's flying.
Lewis Brinson has a 3-run homer tonight. Good sign for him as that's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last time the Braves scored 16 runs in a game 10 years ago in 2010. They're not done yet.
I was going to say they still have 12 more outs at least.
If it's more than 12 more outs, we're going to have a real problem.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Yamamoto's what, almost to 80 pitches now, or right at it.
Well, he's a starter by trade. I don't know how stretched out he is, but
even if he's stretched out, 80 pitches starts to put you up there.
But you know, the quandary for Don Mattingly is this: as we said, they've got a 7-game series coming up with the Phillies. 2 doubleheaders coming up in the next 5 days. They have 15 games in 11 days and no more days off. So,
well, they're used to a bunch of transactions. So
yeah, 135 of them or so.
I think we'll see a few more in the next couple days.
But this is where, at least from the Marlins standpoint, and frankly for the Phillies too, who have to play him, your pitching depth is really going to be challenged over the next 5 days. And the Braves will sit back and munch on the popcorn with a divisional lead while they play the Washington Nationals. Now back. back. Good cut by Lewis Brinson. Still 3-2. Do not walk him. Make him put it in play. And he did. A line drive to left, and it's going to hang up for Duvall. It makes a nice sliding catch. And Brinson's retired for the first out.
Good play by Adam. Charging in. There's some of that defense. Very good in left field.
Monty Harrison's the batter. And takes a strike. Mets have made a game of it. They're down 6-5 to the Orioles now. Braves will play both of those clubs on the upcoming trip. Pitch is 0-2. Royals beat the Indians 3-0. Brewers clobbered the Tigers 19-0. Yankees are winning 7-2 in a big game over Toronto tonight. Here it's 16-8 in the 5th. And he swung at a ball in the dirt. Dayton gets Harrison to swing and miss. He's got the hat trick. 3 swinging strikeouts. First one of those for Grant tonight.
And in a game that's 16-8, he's probably thinking 3 strikeouts. Good job by Grant coming back out with a clean inning for him. He had to come in last inning with a couple runners on for Tommy.
Alfaro has hit the ball hard twice. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run. That's in for a strike. Hey, our pal Kevin Franson's checking us out tonight, watching the game in his suburban Philadelphia mansion. I'm guessing 7 bedrooms, about 14,000 square feet.
Of course.
And just like that, Alfaro's behind 0-2. Kevin's one of the good guys with Tom McCarthy, Ben Davis on the TV side, Larry Anderson, and Scott Fransky on the Phillies radio call. They're having some fun right now. The Phillies are playing great. Got a good race in the East. The pitch is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Grant, 24 pitches right now. So look, if he can get this out right here, I think it's very feasible for him to come out for the 6th.
You start with Chisholm, Rojas, and Marte for Miami. Just restore some order here. Is your hope. Dayton and set down 4 straight and make it 5 straight. Hey, a 1-2-3 inning. Attaway, Grant Dayton. Boy, did we need that. Braves are coming up in the home 5th. Well, it's time for tonight's Zaxby's indescribably good play. That was the key play in an 11-run, 8-hit, 3-homer inning for the Atlanta offense, Jeff, that lasted 42 minutes.
Well, they did a lot of damage, but as you said, the good play of that was probably the save call for Adam Duvall at third base that let the Braves tie it up, and then they went on to score 10 more runs.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
So Travis d'Arnaud leads off for Atlanta in the 5th. This is already his 4th time to the plate. He hit a 2-run homer in that blistering 11-run second for the Braves. And give credit where credit's due. Jordan Yamamoto is the old proverbial man taking one for the team tonight. 78 pitches, 2 1/3 innings, 8 runs so far. I'm guessing Don Mattingly's thinking about 1 more inning from Yamamoto and then try to patch it together for the final 3. But he too, like the Braves, with all these games coming up without days off, can't blow through your bullpen down 8 runs. Breaking ball, fly ball. That's out toward Brinson. And he makes the catch easily for the first out. And Dansby Swanson the batter. Dansby 2 for 2 in the second inning, 0 for 1 in all the other innings.
And his 2 hits in that second inning were in the exact same spot. He let it off with a bullet to left and came back around next time.
Bet you didn't know this about Dansby Swanson. Now with 39 runs, he's second to Fernando Tatis in the National League in runs scored. Tatis entered play today at 45 for the Padres, who are winning again tonight in Colorado.
Yeah, when you've been getting on base as much as he has from the 1 spot and the 2 spot with Freddie and Ozuna behind you, you're coming around quite a bit the last 3-4 weeks.
Well, the Padres have a fun team, don't they? 27-17. Right now they would be, I believe, the 4th seed in the National League playoffs. They would match up with the Phillies.
Yeah, they got a little bad news. Hosmer broke his finger trying to bunt. So I guess 2 to 6 weeks I saw. That's a big timeline. I guess they just don't know. But they did pick up Mitch Moreland at the deadline from Boston.
Right.
So a guy that can play.
And the Padres still have hopes of catching the Dodgers. San Diego 4.5 games out in the National League West. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Dansby. That's up and in. 2-2 the count. Yeah, after tonight, 17 games are left. I think it's safe to say we'll be talking a lot about the standings. They're going to be rather fluid, and this is what makes this new playoff format so exciting. As Dansby splits the shift again, he's got 3 hits. He is on time with everything.
Well, I'd imagine in Washington tomorrow night, depending on what happens, the lineup might look similar to this. I don't know.
If it's not, as they say, there ought to be an investigation. So here are your seedings. I guess there are a couple of surprises on there, at least for me. The Giants.
Yeah, 7 and 8. I mean, all the other teams, I think at some point you figure they were a good ball club. But like you said, a lot of baseball left.
Does it surprise you in any way, Jeff? I guess in this regard, the other clubs being really good clubs and the Marlins with their young pitching staff, those were the 2 teams that were most affected by COVID, and they're still in the hunt in the National League. Pretty impressive. And I think the one constant for the 2 of them is they have excellent starting pitching.
Yeah, and that's kind of carried them. As I've said, this Marlins team offensively is not, you know, putting up huge numbers, but their starting staff's been really good.
0-2. And that's the old chicken and egg question that comes in baseball. Look, if you have a great starting staff, your offense knows maybe they only have to get 2 or 3, as opposed to when you have struggles like the Braves do. You've scored 16 runs and you don't feel all that comfortable quite yet. That was the key for the 14 straight division championships in Atlanta. You get good starting pitching, get a couple runs, and take your chances.
No, for sure. But I also think that this offense is you know, so prolific and able to do things that other offenses couldn't.
And Anderson had one trickle out of his glove, and that's a product of being on the field for about 2 hours.
Yeah, that could be a lack of concentration once that happens. Ball right down the line, and just, as you said, trickles off his glove. That's why, you know, even with our starting pitching having some trouble, you see here, he was in a good spot to make the play.
That is an error.
But when you have this kind of offense that the Braves do and the bullpen, you still, like you said, is starting pitching ideal? No. But is the other 2 things pretty darn good?
2 on 1 out for Duvall. He's scored 3 runs tonight. He's walked twice and he's hit a 2-run homer. And And he hits one high in the air toward left. Look at that ball carried toward the fence. At the fence. Leaping try. It is gone. Adam Duvall with another home run. This is unbelievable. A 2-homer, 5 RBI, 4-run game for Adam Duvall.
They got a hanging curveball, and he got him out front some, but we've seen Adam do that a lot. And he went to the one part he had to go, Chip, to get this out right down the line. And now they got 19 runs.
So 19 runs on 14 hits. That ball is sharply hit off Cooper's glove. Chisholm tries to recover, can't get to the bag in time, and Ozzy's aboard. And right now everything is coming off the bat like a missile, and the Marlins just standing in quicksand. We'll see how that's scored. I'm guessing E3.
I don't know. That ball was hit pretty hard.
Well, that's why it's a guess. I don't know. Let's see how it's scored tonight. Mike Stamos is the official scorer.
I'm giving it a hit, Mike.
Well, he's a fellow ACCer, so you two can stick together. We'll see how it works out. Look, the line for Jordan Yamamoto is going to be awfully ugly. But you know what, Don Mattingly, I guarantee is telling this kid, you saved our bullpen a lot of extra innings. And with 15 games in 11 days coming up, that is indeed a moral victory for the Miami young right-hander. Atlanta, though, leads it by 11 again.
Baseball is brought to you by Bojangles. It's bow time. Delta Airlines. And by your local Ford dealer.
Well, maybe the Braves will score 21 runs, or at this pace, maybe there'll be a combined 3,000 hits. It certainly feels like it as we're battling in the 5th inning on Roberto Clemente Day. The Braves with a 19-8 lead. 7 of those runs came against Pablo Lopez. 11 earned runs against Jordan Yamamoto, who gave up 4 of the 5 homers Atlanta has hit. And now Alex Vesia is on and is in his 5th game. This young man rapidly rose through the Marlins system. Another guy that throws a lot of strikes. And he'll face Ender Inciarte with 3 in, 1 on, and 1 out. Ender is 0 for 2 with an RBI. He's the only Brave starter without a hit yet. And in a game like this, Jeff, as you know, there's usually always one.
That's what I said. Same thing. I mean, even for the Marlins on the other side with 8, Harrison's got the 3 strikeout game. We always say someone's got to make the outs to keep the game going.
Popped up back toward us and out of play. It's an even count for Ender Inciarte. Franchise record for runs in a single game is within reach tonight. 23 runs were scored by the Milwaukee Braves in 1957. The most runs ever scored in a game in Atlanta history is 20. It's been done twice. This one is shot towards center. That's going to get down in front of Marte. Ozzy is on his way to third. The Braves have their 16th hit, and they're not through because here comes Ronald Acuna Jr. to face Vesia.
And Ender joined the hit party, so every Brave with a hit.
Perfect night for Acuna. 3 walks, 3 runs, and a 3rd inning single. And as a hitter, I'm sure, Jeff, you can relate. This is where you get greedy. You don't play to the scoreboard. You try to put up your numbers. And Acuna launches that ball left center on the first pitch. No doubt about it, to center field. A record-setting night in Atlanta Braves history with 22 runs. The Braves have now hit 6 homers in this game, and we're only in the 5th. Tenth home run, 18 RBIs, and 4 runs scored for Acuna. He hit it right to the garage door, just shy of straightaway center.
And the outfielders didn't even move on that one.
First pitch, no doubt about it. And that's the other thing, Jeff. A lot of this damage has come on the first pitch.
That wasn't even a strike. Ball was down, and he went down and golfed it. As you said, drove it right in the garage in center. Did I just hear that right? I think they said the most runs that the Braves have scored since moving to Atlanta.
In Atlanta Braves history, 22 tonight. The previous record was 20, last done in 2001. So think about this. Milwaukee scored 19 runs tonight and beat Detroit. They scored 19 runs in 9 innings. The Braves have scored 22 runs in 4 2/3 innings.
4 1/3.
Excuse me, 4 1/3. Yeah.
There's only 1 out still.
No balls, 2 strikes. So a big Braves fan, Frank DiRoberto, just gave me a great line that I'm going to steal from you. With the NFL starting up this weekend, will the Falcons outscore the Braves on Sunday?
I hope so.
Everybody does. It's 22-8. Pitch bounces up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Falcons are going to win 31-24. Get off to a good start.
I like it.
Well, we might score 31.
It's in reach. It is in reach. The Braves have 11 outs left. And Freddie pops it up. He might be tired. I don't blame him. That'll be handled easily by Brinson. That's the second out. Here's the pitching lines for the Marlins tonight. Pablo Lopez, an inning and 2/3, 4 hits, 7 runs. Jordan Yamamoto, 3 innings, 11 hits, 12 runs, 11 earned, and 94 pitches. Vessia's come in and has thrown 10 pitches. He's gotten 1 out, and he's given up 2 runs and a homer. Grant Dayton so far is the MVP. He has pitched an inning and 2/3 of scoreless. Marcell Ozuna on a night where the Braves have 22 runs earns our Bringing the Lumber feature presented by Yellowwood.
Yeah, the 3-hole hitter for the Braves last 18 games, 375, 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. I remind you, the player of the week this past week.
That's right. Marcel's not even the player of the game tonight.
We have a lot of options for that.
Yeah, right.
I think it's still to be decided. Someone's going to have to hit 1 more home run or big hit.
Man, oh man. 2 balls, no strikes. And that's way outside, ball 3.
I said after the game on the post game last night, the Braves were going to have to find a way to put that game past them last night. I think they did.
Yep.
I don't think they're letting that bother them.
And that's taken high, ball 4 for the second time in this game. The Braves have batted around And the inning continues for d'Arnaud, who hit a 2-run homer in the second. I wonder if great MLB.com beat writer Mark Bowman has run out of adjectives and superlatives in his game story as he chronicles this one against the Marlins tonight.
Can't wait to read it.
He can't wait to write it. As that's in for a strike. For d'Arnaud, it's 0-1. That's taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike. This would be a very easy game to do the highlights for on the news shows and the sports highlight shows. You
just show home runs.
Atlanta set a record for runs scored. They hit 6 home runs to this point, and just show them shut up and move to the next game. As that one's cut on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Problem is, a lot of the sportscasters only get about a minute and a half worth of highlights to run. They take care of that in the second inning.
Yeah, I told you, you just got to show the home runs real quick. Bam, 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 bam. Then put the score up.
One ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs and Ozuna at first. And that just missed. 2-2. We'll see if the Braves think about any defensive substitutions with the 6th inning looming in a 14-run lead. We'll have 1 fewer option, or actually 2 at this point. A swing and a miss as Johan Camargo was sent to the alternate site and Charlie Culberson was DFA'd. But another home run, this time by Ronald Acuna Jr., his 10th. It was a missile. Adam Duvall started the fun with a 3-run homer himself. The Braves have another huge inning. 6 more runs in the 5th inning. Yes, it's 22-8 Atlanta. For your T-Mobile ticket to the game, and let's talk about first of all the Phillies. They are breathing down the neck of the Braves with this very impressive 16-game run, Jeff, and like it often does, it comes down to starting pitching.
Well, they've been good. Nolan Wheeler have really given them length into the 7th, 8th innings, and Rhys Hoskins has been hot.
White Sox lead the American League in average, homers, and starters ERA. And of course, we mentioned the San Diego Padres. A fun story out west. Bryce Wilson is on to pitch. He'll face Jazz Chisholm, who's 2 for 2 with a triple and a home run. Mentioned the Braves now 1 run shy of the all-time franchise record for runs scored in a game. Includes Boston, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. One other note on that September 2nd, 1957 game. Know who the winning pitcher was?
I don't. Enlighten me, please.
Ernie Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Ernie Johnson got the win in relief that day. I haven't seen the box score, but I'm going to guess Hank Aaron hit a couple homers. Maybe Joe Adcock and Eddie Matthews.
They probably did some damage.
Yeah. Big days. As Chisholm swings and misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is an important outing for Bryce Wilson. Need to get him back on the beam. He's got good stuff. We're told he's been working on some pitches at the alternate site. Chance to get in some rhythm here and give the Braves some much needed zeros out of the bullpen. He's going to a 3-2 count.
And we know he's got a live arm. I mean, he sits 95, 96, throws it good. We've seen him throw it by people. As we said, he's got to develop an off-speed pitch, whether it's that cutter that they're talking about, changeup, but something to get him off that fastball. A good chance here in this game to get him in, Chip, and get him some work.
So Chisholm with a 3-2 count and fought it off. 10 o'clock in the East. Braves will join you an hour earlier tomorrow night. As that one sharply hit. Ozzie, nice play. As Jeff said, he should have won the Gold Glove last year. He's going to win one before his career is over, and there's a good start. 1 out.
Yeah, him, Colton Wong, 2 great second basemen. I'm not taking anything away from Colton. We just get to see Ozzie play every night and see the plays he makes in front of us. But I totally agree, Chip. At some point here, he's going to snag himself one.
So here's Rojas. Miguel is 1 for 3. He scored one of the Marlins 8 runs. 8 runs on 9 hits for Miami. Amazingly, there have been only 6 men left on base because they've
all scored.
Hits. Exactly right. Rojas has had a good series. 6 hits. Chad Wallach is on deck as Don Mattingly is going to start to get some of his regulars off the field. We'll see if the Braves do the same in the bottom of the inning. Believe it or not, it is the 6th, and that is not a typo on your screen. If you're just joining us, 22-8. Braves scored 11 in the second, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 6 more in the fifth. They've blasted 6 home runs tonight. Freddie Freeman, his 1500th hit, came on a homer.
That game you were talking about with Ernie Johnson, they won 23-10. Hank Aaron had 6 RBIs.
Freddie Freeman has 6 RBIs tonight.
The only difference, the game time for that was 3 hours and 9 minutes. If we're going to hit that, we got about 14 minutes for the next 3.5 innings.
Don't think we're going to beat that part of it, right?
And that was a game 1 of a doubleheader.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. 2-2. Fouled away.
Probably why I got to 23. Doubleheader, someone was wearing it.
Oh, they beat the Cubs that day.
They did.
Jack Brickhouse was not happy about that. The 2-2 pitch is served out of play. Rojas fighting hard here, a 95-mile-an-hour heater. And another foul ball by Rojas. In the air toward left center, and that'll curl back to Ender. A prolonged battle is won by Bryce Wilson. 2 up, 2 down.
And see, that's a pitch, that's a cutter right there, Chip. Something that he's throwing 2 or 3 fastballs at 95, starting to get good swings. Something you can just change speeds on him, keep it in the zone. And he got it off the end of the bat.
So Marte will be taken down. Mattingly will get him off his feet the rest of this game, and Chad Wallach, son of Tim Wallach, terrific player in his own right with the Expos for many years, and later the Dodgers.
Longtime bench coach under Donnie in LA and then in Miami.
Knee high strike, that'll work every time. Maybe a little below the knees, but Wallach took it. Wallach's already worked up a lather. He was warming up guys in the bullpen, I bet. Now has to come on and pinch hit. Jesus Aguilar waits on deck for the Marlins. The Braves are looking for their second consecutive 1-2-3 pitched inning. And they should have it if this one's caught. It's Ozzie Albies, and he is there. Nice work, Bryce Wilson. Nothing doing in the Miami sixth. 22-8 Atlanta.
Just tuned in. That is actually correct. Bottom of the sixth. Braves have 22 runs. The Marlins have 8. Well, shout out to Brian Snitker. Talking to him this afternoon after the Braves lost 2. He was the same person. He sticks to that motto. Every day counts. Just worry about today. What was so great about today? Ozzie Albies coming back. What else? He put Freddie Freeman in the 2-hole, Zuna in the 3 with Acuna leading off. That's a pretty strong 3 hitters. And he said, you know what? We may roll around and get those guys up there an extra time or 2, and that will matter. You know what else matters, guys? I'm ready for home run balls. I don't want to ask for too much, but if the Braves can hit another one, I am ready to pick it up with my COVID glove.
Well, you better beat someone to it, Birdie. I'll tell you that.
I've been chasing chickens on the farm. I've been training for this the last 2 years, Frenchie.
Just like you did with the freeze.
Well, I pulled a hammy, but did you see how quick I was for about 50 yards?
You were out of the, yeah, you got out of the gates quick.
That was fine. Freeze said he actually had to tap into his highest gear to catch me.
Really?
Yeah.
He said that, huh?
Well, he didn't factor in the hamstring, but when he saw me get out of the gate is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
oh, I got you.
You did.
He knew he was in trouble.
Yeah. You know what? To your credit, too, Birdie, you didn't do what that poor guy did, thinking he had victory in hand 50 feet away from the tape. He put his hands up and the freeze blew his doors off.
Yes.
You just came up with the old, I tore my hamstring about 100 yards from this finish line, right?
This is true, and I did send pictures of my hamstring that was bruised to people in the Fox truck. So,
You didn't want him to think you quit.
Correct. I didn't want him to think I had an excuse.
Changes for the Marlins in the bottom of the 6th inning as Wallach stays in there behind the plate. Alfaro is moved to right field. And Monty Harrison takes over in center for Starling Marte. Don't think we've ever seen Alfaro play right. But you know what? He's the leaner, meaner Alfaro as he's come back from COVID.
You know, he actually came in last inning. I saw Donnie talking to him on the step. Maybe that's what he said. You ever played outfield before, son? You're going to tonight.
Well,
Man, look at him. He's checking his card out.
I was going to say, being a rather large framed person myself, if they put you in the outfield as a catcher, it's usually in left. But he's much more athletic. He's playing right. With the 2-2 pitch is downstairs, ball 3.
Yeah, first time ever in the outfield for him. A couple games at first, one game at third and catcher, but like you said, the veteran Marte, they want to get him off his feet, and Alfaro get the gear off him for a little bit.
This is also something I've never done in a 30-year career broadcasting Major League Baseball. First the 3-2, it's round away. I've never done a game where I've had to change the innings twice because you batted around twice in the game, especially in the first 5 innings of a game.
I'm just impressed you're still keeping score.
Oh, Jeff, I always keep score. But man, oh man, what a glorious night to do that. This is a scorecard that we won't forget anytime soon. A record for runs in Atlanta Braves history, one shy of tying the all-time franchise mark of 23 runs in a game. It was in 1957 in Milwaukee with Ernie Johnson getting the win in relief. Hank Aaron had 6 RBIs. I believe Frank Torrey scored 6 runs in that game, I was told. Joe Torre's brother.
Really?
and a base on balls.
And now a quick message from Delta.
Swanson's aboard for Austin Riley. Dansby's reached base 4 times. Riley's reached 3 times. A walk, a single, an error, an RBI, and 3 runs. And Vesia turned that over and got a strike. There are a lot of folks who've wondered if baseball would ever think about, or if with the COVID-related rules, baseball would have implemented a mercy rule in our game. And this is in no way meant to belittle or demean the Marlins. They just had a bad night with their pitching staff. But with the state of pitching around Major League Baseball, we saw with Atlanta, they led 11-2, and the Marlins made it a game.
Well, as a hitter right now, they don't want it.
No, no.
They want to keep hitting.
But from a practical standpoint,
yeah.
Again, Braves have 1 day off left. They're starting a road trip tomorrow night without benefit of a day off. The Marlins go home with a bunch of makeup games they have to deal with no days off.
Yeah, I will say one advantage of this year, they all have 28 players. And then you get a doubleheader, you get 29.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of room to have pitch and depth down there. Now, how effective are the pitchers and who are they? That's another question.
Well, tonight for Miami, they weren't effective at all. As that's inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. I'll say this for Stu Sherwater. He has not expanded his strike zone at all.
No, he's done a good job of keeping, consistent strike zone back there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Think Birdie can get a matching set of those gloves, by the way?
He just had one, huh?
Yeah. Yep. When he goes with the light blue Fox Polo, that glove will match perfectly.
You're right.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Another full count now. Dansby spoiled a couple and got a walk.
Three-two. And out of play.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Since my last hit,
yes,
an authenticator has come over here and sat down in the seats close to me.
Okay.
And he's pretty young. So I'm sizing him up right now.
Oh, I see what you're going.
Yeah.
Yep. We're going to have a sprint.
Yeah, we're staring at each other right now.
Don't let him intimidate you, Paul. He's got the stickers.
He's got a good first step, I heard.
Another payoff pitch to Austin Riley, the Braves' third baseman. Here it is. And ripped foul.
Well, Birdie, with Riley, Duvall, and Albies hitting, I think you kind of need to be on the left center side over there.
I agree. You guys made a great point earlier in the game about the bottom part of this Braves lineup. As a former pitcher, I would hate to see this on my chair when I came in to pitch.
Back-to-back walks. And Adam Duvall is coming up. Adam has had a gigantic night. 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and 4 runs scored. They were well struck.
Yeah, first one down the line, or into the Braves bullpen. Second one down the line And look, he has a chance to have another 3 home run game. And that makes him our flamethrower from Georgia Natural Gas.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
When's the last time a player on a team has had 2 3-homer games in a season? Poor Wiley is going to need. He's going to have to go get a manicure. He's worn his fingertips down to the nub typing and finding all these stats.
Not just that, I think it was last Wednesday night was his 3 home run game, right? Because Ozuna did it first.
Right.
So it's, I mean, this would be 2 3 homer games in a week.
Right.
Not just a season. No pressure, Adam.
Well, my point is, if nobody's ever had 2 3-homer games in a season, then they wouldn't have one in a week.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's crazy to think about it.
Gotcha.
I know. I'm sure people have had 2 3 home run games in a season. Absolutely. But I'm saying in a week apart.
Probably not. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shift on for Adam.
I know I didn't go to college, but I got what you were saying.
Well,
just to throw that there.
Just making sure.
Just to be there.
So back-to-back walks in a 14-run Atlanta game. Miami has walked 9 guys. And Duvall is down on strikes. That ends his perfect night, and that's the first out of the inning.
Well, this is our first chance to see Ozzie chip from the right side, which was the side that bothered him the most.
Two on, 1 out. And in the dirt. Nice stop by Wallach. I'll promise you this, all these Marlins will sleep well on their flight home.
Especially Brenson and Harrison in the outfield.
Yeah, these are not easy games to play on either end. It's a lot more fun for one dugout than the other, but it has really been a slog. 26 hits, 30 runs.
I always say you play long enough, you're going to be on both sides of these quite a few times in your career.
11 total walks in the game. The man that has pitched the most was Tommy Malone, who lasted 3 1/3 innings. Malone is the first pitcher in modern history to be given a 10-run or greater inning and not win the game in either start. Malone went 3 1/3 innings.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Is it too much to ask for a 3-run homer to make it 25? I'm ready.
I was wondering where you were, Bertie, but that neon colored gloves, you stand right out.
Let that be a lesson to the authenticators of my quickness.
Yes. Now,
well, you got to think. You got to get to where you think it's going. And now I'm going to laugh when Ozzie goes down the line opposite field.
No, I'm feeling it here, Jeff. I'm feeling it here.
Right to the bird's nest. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And strike 3. There's one of the few times the zone has been expanded. And Ozzie is the second out of inning number 6, and Ender's coming up. That was presented well by Wallach.
Yeah, and like you said, I know Stu behind the plate's had a good strike zone, but you might see him do that a couple more times now, right on the corner. But
Ender's got his average back to 200. Two on, 2 out. And that paints a corner for an even count. I promise you we will have a stretch tonight. It's getting close to milk and cookies time for Jerome and BJ and Nick Green. A lot of great things to recap in Game 3 tonight as the Braves try to avenge a series loss to the Marlins. The pitch. That's way outside. Brian Jordan will have a yaya fest with 6 Atlanta homers. And again, as always, the stretch presented by Synovus. In between the top and bottom half of inning number 7. The pitch is caught on the mist. There it is. A lot of great stuff to break down tonight. Atlanta's offense was blistering hot. Atlanta's got 9 walks. 5 of them have scored. They cashed in an error and they've hit 6 homers. And the 2-2. Scalded back toward us. We'll do it again. And so after the game we will await Brian Snitker's press conference, of course, and then we'll find out who he plans to start in Game 1 in Washington. We have a pretty good idea, but still a ways to go in this one.
Yeah, you hope Bryce Wilson can take the ball tonight and throw another couple innings.
No question. That would be ideal. Maybe even finish it off. As this one slowly hit on the ground, it's a race to the bag. And Ender beat it. Bases are loaded. So Vesia got a late break to the first base bag. It was a long throw from Cooper. And Atlanta gets an infield hit.
You could see kind of fell off to the side. I think a good toss and he would have had him, but he made him kind of wait. Got there at the same time.
And Tom Mattingly's not going to let Vesia face Acuna with the bases loaded. He's got to go to his bullpen again. And Ronald is coming up with the bases full of Braves in a 22-8 shellacking at Truist Park. Took him one pitch to rip a thunderbolt over the center field fence. It came in the 5th inning. And it's our StatCast presented by Google Cloud.
It was a changeup low, and he went down and got it. Absolute line drive, 453 feet into that garage. 111.5. Continues the home run barrage for the Braves tonight.
Who have hit 6 of them, and now they take aim at Josh A. Smith, who last appeared on the 7th. Smith an inning and 2/3, 2 hits and a walk. Marlins signed him as a free agent in December of last year.
He actually had some good numbers this year. High walks, but 2.45 and 18 1/3.
He was with the Red Sox. 18 appearances with the big league club, 13 appearances at AAA Pawtucket. So it's been a perfect night for Acuna. 2 hits, 3 walks, 4 runs. So Josh A. Smith delivers a strike. Anytime you hear the surname Smith, think about Mr. Vol, Mike Smith, our great press box security guard. Not seeing Mike this year because of the ballpark restrictions, but Mike's a big fan and a great person. Hope we'll see him in 2021. And go Dogs. Mike, the pitch is cut on and missed. It's 1-2. Looking ahead to the Miami 7th. They'll have their 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up.
And I'm sure Donnie didn't want to bring in Smith, a guy like him, but at this point, Chip, he's got no choice tonight. At some point, you got to go get one of your guys down there to get outs. And
old foul by Acuna.
Quite frankly, for the Marlins, get this game over.
Every Marlins pitcher has surrendered at least one run, and Acuna shoots it to right. That ball is well hit. Alfaro going back. It's over his head. It's off the wall. 2 runs score. NCRT will stop at third. The ball gets away, and now Ender comes home to score. And the Braves have a new franchise record in runs. Acuna is going to get a double, 2 RBIs. I assume there'll be an error allowing Ender to score as he stopped. It's 25-8, and Ronald has knocked in 5 runs tonight.
Gets a breaking ball, goes off that right field wall. As you said, a guy like Alfaro in right field just played it off there.
On the ground, hard hit by Freeman. Chisholm to a knee, makes the play, and that retires the side. The Braves get 3 more runs. They have tied the Marlins record for most runs allowed tonight. Catch your live cam brought to you by Xfinity. On this record-setting night in Atlanta, the Braves have set a new franchise mark with 25 runs. Thanks to 6 homers and 9 Marlins walks. Jesus Aguilar is the designated hitter. He's going to lead off for Miami as we've already reached the 7th inning.
Well, you asked me about the Falcons, if they were going to outscore them, and I said the Falcons were going to score 31. It might be close.
This is one of the great things about baseball. You never know what you're going to see, and no 2 games are ever alike. Tonight, the Braves have 1, 2, 3, 4 players who've each scored 4 runs. Acuna's knocked in 5. Freeman's knocked in a career high 6. Adam Duvall with 5 RBIs. Ozzie Albies in his return to the lineup. A homer, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. As that one's out of play, just off to our right. And Aguilar a 2-2 count.
The fans at the Omni tonight out there watching on the balcony, they've seen a lot of action.
There's a base hit to left. Aguilar has 3 hits, 2 doubles and a single now. And Miami gets the 7th inning started with a hard hit ball, and Brian Anderson is the hitter. Anderson is 1 for 2 with a sac fly and a run scored. Mets have taken the lead over Baltimore 7-6. Padres 4-3 over the Rockies. Mariners and Giants just getting started. Yankees won 7-2 over Toronto. White Sox beat the Pirates 8-1. That is your big league action up to the minute. Interesting story out of Nashville tonight. Justin Timberlake is trying to help an investment group bring a big league team to Nashville. As that one is down the line, out of play, no chance for Ronald to get it. 2 balls and a strike.
Good guy to have on your side, I guess.
It's a group called Music City Baseball. Dave Dombrowski is part of that group. Nashville's a great part of Braves country. Fantastic growing metropolis, as is Charlotte. One very wild, and no advance by Aguilar. Those two cities would be on anybody's potential expansion list, no matter the sport. And I firmly believe that we're going to have expansion in the next several years. Baseball, I think, wants to get to 32 teams.
Well, in Vegas, you got to wonder they're going to go to Vegas at some point.
3-1 count. And that's taken high, hitting the walk.
And now a quick message from Bojangles.
Feed the whole family with a big Bo box. It's Bo time.
Here's Garrett Cooper. He scored a couple of runs. And Darno out to Wilson to say, look, son, we've got a 17-run lead. 4 strikes. Nothing in 1 for Garrett Cooper, who is greeted every time he comes up with putting on the Ritz. If you know the lyrics, you'll get the reference from Matthew Kaminsky. That's a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Get a cut or something out over the plate for him to roll over and get a double play ball on.
Two on, nobody out. The pitch is popped into right. Ronald has to battle the lights a little bit, but has no trouble. And there's the first out here in the 7th inning. Lewis Brinson's coming up. This is a nice game for the Braves to get under their belt for a lot of different reasons. In many ways, Jeff, I think encapsulates what this team's been about this year. No matter what is thrown their way, they find a way to give you a finish. The offense has been very consistent for the most part, very powerful. Adding Ozzie Albies makes it even more dangerous and deep. The Braves bullpen has been outstanding. The challenge for Atlanta over these final 16, 17 games now is going to be, can you get the rotation stabilized and healthy and get them ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, Max Fried, Cole. You know, you throw those 2 guys to me with an Ian Anderson also in there. You know, you have 3 guys that, you know, have proven they can go out there and you know, throw strikes, beat teams. So I think that's the key. I think we see this offense bullpen, they're going to score.
And I think, just speaking as a fan, not as a journalist, if you will, I think we'll all in Braves country feel better about our team once we see Max Fried back and throwing. Once we see Anderson go back out there and hopefully have a better start in his 4th big league game. And getting Cole Hamels, if all goes well, for Cole. I mean, those are 3 guys that I think would give you a chance to match up with a first-round opponent in the playoffs.
Well, and like I said, with the bullpen the Braves have, you're not asking these guys to go 7 innings. You're
No.
asking them to give you 5 solid innings.
Out of play foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes for Brinson. And again, the great advantage Atlanta has, I think, even with their starting pitching woes, they have an offense that can, if not fully cover it, give you a chance to cover it. And Bertie just sent me a note that came across the wire. The Braves are the first team to score 25 runs in the first 6 innings of a game since 1922, when the Cubs did it. They scored 26 times on August 25th, 1922. I mean, when you start seeing this stuff and you think about the unbelievable history, it just blows your mind, as does Bryce Wilson walking people in a 25-8 game. Second walk of the inning. Not trying to be critical. Never thrown a pitch in a major league game, but I'm guessing Rick Crandall say throw it down the middle. Not right now, but throw it down the middle and let him hit the ball.
I think that's what exactly he came out and said. Look, you came out in the 6th inning, you went 1, 2, 3. You were throwing strikes. Do it right here.
And that, in a nutshell, I think sums up what we've seen from so many of the Braves youngsters. The obvious inconsistency.
Yeah, and look, I'll go back and say that I still, to this day, think for some of these guys, they have not got the innings that they need down in the minor leagues to prepare. But at the same time, therefore, you got to throw some people up here. It's a different season. You know, you only have so many pitchers, so it's, you know, it's been difficult, I'm sure, to see these guys come up. But again, they're having opportunities to learn up here. And in a game like this for Bryce, you got, you know, they want him probably to go 4 innings, you know, and finish this game here. You got the opportunity, so go get it.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. With no minor league season, look, we don't know specifically what's happening at the alternate site camps. There isn't media there. There aren't scouts and the like. They're playing inter-squad games.
It's still an inter-squad game,
right?
Until you line up with, you know, someone on another organization, another team, it's still, you can get all the work you want, Chip, but it's still tough.
So I don't want to say these guys are coming in cold. They're coming in as best prepared as they can be, considering the circumstances. And there's a nice recovery after that second walk. Bryce Wilson has his first strikeout of the game, Bertie, and that's what we need to see more of tonight.
You're right, and I love that last pitch because he didn't overthrow it. It was nice and easy. Hit your spots. I love what Jeff said about you come up, you learn, and it's okay if you fail. It's not okay to go back down and not work on the things that you need to be successful up here.
The hard part, I guess, guys, is that if you do have a bump in the road up here, you don't get the chance to go down to the minor leagues and get back into a game that means something and pitch. You just have to
and that's why I'm
do
saying
the best you can.
The satellite camp is great because you have to have the guys continue to work. But as I said, it's not the same as going down there and throwing against an opposing jersey, opposing player. But that was a good recovery there by Bryce after Rick Kranitz came out.
Guys, big Doc Halladay.
Yeah.
Came up first, threw 4-seamers, tried to throw the ball by everybody, got lit up, went back down, learned to sinker, came back up, and the rest is history. So you come up, you make adjustments. I saw an adjustment in Kyle Wright's game last night. Wasn't perfect, box score wasn't great, but he made changes and he's learning.
And I think that's indicative of what we saw with the upcoming series, Paul. He's already listed as a starter in that set against the Nationals. So the Braves, I think, agree with you.
That's it. And he moved his foot position on the rubber. His 2-seamer was exploding. He got in trouble with the slider. So whether he'll scoot back over and throw the slider or make an adjustment thrown across his body a little bit on the breaking ball remains to be seen. But he did make a change, and I thought his fastball was much better. He also pitched in. And guys, let's face it, we need people to get the ball to that bullpen.
1-2 pitch from Wilson to Alfaro with the bases loaded and just a touch high. Best fastball from Bryce. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hang a gold star out to Travis d'Arnaud tonight. He has been behind the plate for all 7 innings. You'd normally say, well, that's no big deal. But when you consider the number of pitches that have been thrown tonight, both he and Alfaro have had to work hard. Alfaro has moved to the outfield. for the first time in his career. With Chad Wallach behind the plate, the pitch is lined into right field, a base hit. That's going to score at least one. Acuna got to it quickly, and the Marlins pick up another run on an Alfaro RBI hit, his second RBI of the game. Aguilar scores for the first time, and it's 25-9.
Slider just kind of missed a spot. He's trying to go off the plate. Got caught too much of the plate. And Alfaro, I think a guy, if he wants to get going, he hits the ball opposite field really good with a lot of power.
Jazz Chisholm, the Marlins second baseman, 2 hits, both extra base hits, triple and a homer. First homer, first RBI as a Marlin tonight. Ball 2. So the Braves bullpen will get somebody up to play catch. That's not what Brian Snitker was hoping to see. 54 pitches for Wilson. He's pitched an inning and 2/3. Lifted to the left side. Who wants this? Riley and Swanson. It'll be Austin Riley. He's got it, and that retires the side. It is time for the stretch. Jerome, thanks for hanging in. As we hit the bottom of the 7th inning, and tonight's A-list premium members of the game are ticket partners Buzz Mayo and John O'Brien. They've been members since 1991, and their favorite A-list premium perks are the view from their seats, close parking, and special treatment from their service rep. Congrats to Buzz Mayo and John O'Brien, tonight's A-list premium members of the game. Smith back out there for the Marlins as Marcell Ozuna leads off the 7th inning for the Braves. Marcell coming up for the 6th time in 7 innings. That tells you all you need to know about the parade of batters and base runners and runs scored for Atlanta tonight. Franchise record runs scored.
And they still have 6 outs.
Yeah. So it's going to be a very happy flight to Washington for Braves hitting coach Kevin Seitzer and his able assistant Jose Castro. This is how you answer an 8-0 shutout, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, you almost want to tell me, save a few for Washington, though. But at the same time, this is a team that got shut out last night, and they came out ready to hit today, and they have poured it on.
Sharply hit to Anderson, who kept the glove down that time, and a low throw had to be dug out. Atlanta has scored in every inning but the first.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. The second inning, they scored 11 runs. A lot of times when that happens in a game, Chip, not to say that you don't score a couple more along the way, but that's kind of your inning. And it kind of goes from there. Then they added 2, 3, 6, 3.
Yeah, all those numbers up there look like your ACT scores. A 25, then a 19. Mine would be the 0 in the error column. As the Braves have become the 20th team to score 25 runs in a game in baseball history. It's only happened 8 times in the last 65 years. So this will be a scorecard you want to keep. I'll bet Carolyn Serra of the Braves Hall of Fame is going to come calling and ask for this one to go to the Braves Hall of Fame and Museum. That's another great thing about Truist Park. When we get fans back into this beautiful building, hope you'll take advantage of Monument Grove behind home plate on the concourse level, as there's a liner by d'Arnaud on a 2-strike count. He's got 2 hits. Braves have 20 hits in total now. The marvelous job the Braves and the architects of this building have done incorporating the history of this franchise, not just in one limited area as they did in many cases at Turner Field, but all around the concourse level. It truly is a living, breathing baseball museum of Atlanta history and Milwaukee history and Boston history for that matter too.
Yeah, they've done a good job down there.
Of course, that beautiful statue of Henry Aaron with his home run swing off of Al Downing for home run number 715. The centerpiece sculpture. And there's nothing better than when this ballpark is full of our great fans yelling and screaming and hollering for the Braves, and the youngsters that walk through and see the stories of all the Braves Hall of Famers, great Hall of Fame broadcasters, executives, and the players themselves. It's truly the song of summer. Braves baseball at Truist Park. Dansby Swanson, I think he's going to enjoy this 5th spot in the lineup. He scored 4 runs.
Yeah, 3 hits, 4 runs. Walk.
Oh, and he just wore one on the hip. That one got away from Smith, and that one came in at 91 miles an hour, and 2 are on with 1 out. Oh, right on the point of the hip.
That doesn't feel good, especially when you're up 25-9.
Well, Austin Riley, he scored 4 runs. From the 5th spot down in the Braves lineup, Swanson, Riley, Duvall, Albies, and Inciarte have scored 17 runs. Everybody has scored at least 1. Lined into right center field. That's down for a hit. Darno will stop at 3rd, and the Braves have the bases loaded again.
And who's coming up to do more damage? Adam Duvall.
Yep. Another chance for a 3-homer game. Look, he's got the 2-run homer. He's got the 3-run homer.
Yeah, and you know, we were talking earlier, there's only been 23 instances where players had 2 3-home run games in a season. Nelson Cruz last year, Mookie Betts in 16 and 18. Pujols in 06. Sosa had 3 in 2001.
Unbelievable.
So Adam Duvall a chance to be the 24th.
Well, as my dad would have said, the bases are loaded, and I'll bet Don Mattingly wishes he was too. Braves have pounded out 21 hits, 25 runs. If Adam Duvall hits a home run here, fly ball hammered deep left. It's a grand slam for Adam Duvall. I can't believe it.
Well, Chip, now he's the 24th player in MLB history.
A 2-run, a 3-run, and a grand slam home run. And the Braves have scored 29 times. Folks, when you do as many games as Jeff and I do, you don't get goosebumps about a lot of things. Tonight is one of those nights. The Atlanta Braves are one of 4 teams in baseball history to score 29 runs in a game. I want to know who they were. We'll get Wiley to look that up. I'm just off the top of my head, I'm guessing the 27 Yankees. So how about Adam Duvall?
And he had, 2 good home runs opposite field down the line. That one was absolutely smoked into left center.
450 feet.
Up 20 rows deep.
It's a good thing I didn't say I'd shave my magnificent head of hair if he hits a grand slam. That would have been a real tragedy. But it was in the 27 Yankees. We'll tell you who after this 1-2 pitch to Ozzie Albies. The 1950 Boston Red Sox. The 1955 Chicago White Sox. And the 2007 Texas Rangers.
Yeah, they dropped 30 on the Orioles that day. I remember it was 30-3, I think.
So how many points did you say the Falcons were going to score?
31. So
it's getting close.
See if we're going to go over and under in Vegas.
Two balls, 2 strikes for Ozzie Albies. That one is sharply hit, but Cooper is there. And that's the second out. So what is it, 7 home runs for the Braves tonight now?
And this is the 3rd one by Adam Duvall. Got a hanger. Look at that swing. Short to the ball. Look where the thing landed. I don't know, did we even get word? Did Birdie go get that ball with his glove? Because that's a home run you want to go get.
19 runs scored by the Braves. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters. 19. And look at what Duvall has done in his last 31 plate appearances.
Yeah, it's Adam, you deserve a smile.
Yeah. One ball, 1 strike. So Smith, the latest Marlin to have to wear it tonight for Miami. Every single one of their pitchers has given up at least 4 runs. Line into center. Hard hit ball by Ender, but that will retire the side. Adam Duvall has driven home 9 runs. He's hit 3 homers again tonight for Atlanta. This one a grand slam, and the Braves have scored 29 runs. We go to the 8th. It's 29-9. Yes, 29-9. Miguel Rojas is the Marlins leadoff batter. He's 1 for 4 with a run scored. Bryce Wilson get the next 6 outs. Braves have gotten Freddie Freeman out of the game. Austin Riley's moved across to play first base. Echeverria's in at 3rd. And Rojas, Matty had a pitch to hit, just missed it. Ender gallops in, puts it away, 1 out.
Get Duvall up again, see if he can hit a solo shot, Chip.
Yeah.
Cycle of home runs.
Yeah, well, there's a name for that. What do they call it?
Royal flush?
Something like that. Duvall's tied a Braves record with 9 RBIs. Tony Cloninger was the other Brave that did that. Remember, he was a pitcher. He hit 2 grand slams in a game. A pitcher had the all-time single game RBI record. Well, now Adam Duvall has a share of that. Another pop-up. Chad Wallach, this time on the infield. And Dansby is there. He's on the shortstop side of second base. 2 outs. Birdie, did you find the home run ball?
Guys, right here. 450 feet. 110 off the bat. 9 RBI for Adam Duvall. Those are little league numbers. It bounced here. Went over by the upper level stairs where I had to shift and move and beat the authenticator.
Did you pounce on him?
Well, I did a head fake, went the other way. No body contact.
Never saw it coming?
No, he didn't know what hit him. And here's the ball now. This is the most unbelievable game I have ever seen in my life. And like you, Chip and Jeff, I've been around the game a long time.
I second that, Birdie.
Is that ball flat on one side, just for reference?
Yeah, I was waiting for the Bugs Bunny ball that unravels when you hit it, but it's still all intact, and I got a little scuff mark on the bottom. That's about it.
Well, isn't it amazing? I mean, in a night where there's been so many amazing stats, the fact that Adam Duvall tied a record for RBIs that was held by a pitcher back in the days when pitchers hit. 9 RBIs for Duvall, including a grand slam. Great job, Birdie. I know Adam Duvall will appreciate that souvenir. Middle of the 8th inning. Guess what? The top of the order is up again. Scored in every inning but the first. A record-setting 29-run tally. The only way to guarantee access to the 2021 All-Star Week events is by becoming a Braves A-List member, and those memberships are on sale now. Text A-List to 78030 to get more membership info. Well, the Braves still have something to play for offensively here in what should be their last at bat. They've already set the National League record for most runs in a game tonight. Think about that. As Acuna just missed Ryan Stanek's first pitch. Mile-high fly ball to left for the first out. The previous National League record for runs scored in a game was 28, set by the 1929 Cardinals. The Major League record for runs in a game, as Jeff said, is that 30 spot. And they've got a few more cracks at getting to that mark against Ryan Stanek, who just ended Acuna's perfect night. And Acuna just about launched.
Yeah, he got a pitch to hit, too.
Every Marlins pitcher has given up at least 4 runs tonight. Stanek stares down at Danny Echeverria with 1 out. And a dribbler hit toward third. That is going to stay fair. It's an infield hit, the 23rd hit of the night, and everybody who's batted is at least 1 hit.
And now a quick message from Landmark.
Because nobody beats the Giant. Nobody.
Always the best deal, always.
So Stanek gives up an infield hit.
So they got the runner on now, and you got Marcel and Travis d'Arnaud chance to send one deep. And what the heck, if we score this many, we might as well score 2 more.
Why stop now? He was trying to. Ozuna tonight. A hit, a run, and an RBI. That was back in the Braves' 11-run second.
Well, I got one of my 2 Ford keys right before the game.
Yeah?
Yeah, the 1 through 3 in the lineup. Get going early. They did it. The other one was I said hold the Marlins to less than 5 because they're 11-1 when you did.
Yeah.
I think they're about to go to 11-2 on this one.
Yeah. Well, they scored 9, but they were outscored by 20.
Yeah, that game in 07, Ron Washington was the manager for the Rangers. And then Nick Markakis was on the losing end of that with the Orioles.
I think I have an idea of who had more fun. in that particular game. No balls, 2 strikes. And in the dirt for the Braves designated hitter. Well, whoever pitches tomorrow night in Washington will say, hey guys, save me a few. Austin Voth of Washington will be the man in opposition. Tough year for the Nationals this year. They're 16-25 on the year. As that one is a split finger cut on and fouled away into the catcher's glove for the second out. The other big goal for the Nationals tomorrow is hopefully Mike Rizzo won't run into Joe West. That was a good pitch from Stanek, 2 outs. And here's Travis d'Arnaud.
Who's also homered.
6 home runs for the Braves tonight. And Don Mattingly has said enough. He wants to get Stanek some work. He missed a lot of time with COVID. And they're trying to figure out his place in the bullpen. He's a late inning guy, but he's.
Yeah, but when he was with the Rays, he was that opener for them quite a bit. Did good work down there in Tampa.
Always liked this guy.
He's got a good arm.
Upstairs even count for Travis d'Arnaud. Braves will be big Marlins fans when they go home. They've got that big series with the second place Phillies starting tomorrow night. Braves will pick up a half game on the idle Phillies tonight and push the Marlins a game further back. Miami will be 3.5 games behind Atlanta. The Phillies will be 2 back when we tee it up at Nationals Park tomorrow. One ball, 2 strikes. And that is lifted out of play, foul. We'll do it again. Franchise record runs scored. 20th time in baseball history a team has scored 25 or more runs. Adam Duvall ties the Atlanta RBI record in a single game with 9. Braves set the National League record for runs scored in a game with 29 tonight. They hit 6 homers. 1-2 is high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, 7 homers now.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Forgot the grand slam.
Yeah, silly me.
I know we're losing count. It's a lot.
Yep, forgot that one. So an E on the announcer. It's not the only error the Braves have made tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sharply hit to third. They'll go the short way, and for the first time since the first inning, the Braves do not score. What a night. 3 outs to get. 29-9. Time for tonight's Bojangles Big Bo moment. And I think it's safe to say the offense is the Big Bo moment.
You think? What a night they've put on, partner. I mean, they just starting in that second inning with 11 runs and have not stopped since.
But let's not forget, in that 11-run inning, the critical play in the game was the tag up by Adam Duvall, who was called safe at third. Riley had not scored the second run when the Marlins had appealed that play at third base. If Duvall is out, Riley doesn't score. The Marlins walk off that inning leading 2-1 in the game. And how differently might things have gone. So to quote the great Jason Stark, that's baseball. After that play went the Braves' way, they scored 10 runs with 2 outs and have not looked back. Now back by Anderson.
And I'll tell you what, ever since Rick Kranitz came out after the Brinson walk and talked to Bryce Wilson, he's really throwing good again and pounding the strike zone, fastball, cutters.
Well, I'll say of Bryce the same thing that we have said about Kyle Wright. This kid's stuff is too good to get hit as hard as he has gotten in the past. So hopefully this will be a kickstart for him and a confidence builder. He's done a nice job. And maybe he could get, I don't know if they'd give him the win or not. So what, 69 pitches? No, 70 pitches for Bryce Wilson now. And he had Anderson buckling at 2-2. That's popped back toward us, out of play. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Out of play foul. Games like this, back when the Braves were on the Superstation, is when Dad would ask the great producer Glenn Diamond, Glenn, what's the movie after the game? 2-2 pitch. We have something better than a movie after our game tonight. Jerome BJ and Nick Green are standing by with Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. As that one is lined just out of reach of Ozzie Albies, and it almost took off Wilson's cap on the way by. Anderson with a line drive hit.
Guys, are you ready for more good news?
Sure.
Come on, bring it.
I will. Cole Hamels threw a simulated game today, and Brian Snitker said it went well. We heard Alex Anthopoulos say he might start in Baltimore. But Frenchie, if he feels really good tomorrow, do you think there's a chance they roll him out in D.C., maybe in the finale on Sunday?
Oh, definitely a possibility for him, you know, by pitching today. I think either way, Birdie, whether he was to move up on Sunday or pitch in Baltimore one of those first couple games, to me, he's still on track to get 3 starts, which I think is important to build his pitch count up, whether it's, 3 to 4 the first time, 4 to 5, and then 5 to 6. So as you do get going through the playoffs, he is able to be stretched out and ready to go. So I think that's great news, though, I'll tell you. And whether he pitches in Washington or Baltimore, I know myself, and I think a lot of us say we're excited to see him in a Braves uniform and out there pitching for us this year.
So, Bertie, let me ask you this, to Jeff's point, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5 innings or so, assuming all goes well for Hamels in whatever number of games he gets to pitch, is that enough for him to be ready for postseason play?
Yes, absolutely. And the good news is he doesn't have 200 innings behind him.
Yeah.
He'll be fresh, ready to go, and he's a veteran. You may not say that with a younger guy.
Yeah, Birdie, I think that's the best way. This guy has the experience. He's pitched in the World Series, the World Series MVP. So, look, I don't think that's going to phase him. I think the big thing for him is just getting out there and being able to throw.
And as exciting as the possibility of Hamels pitching on the road trip is, I think everybody in Braves country wants to see Max Fried back on the mound, because if he has any further problems, that's a gigantic problem for Atlanta going forward. Braves say that it's a lumbar back muscle spasm. It's not considered serious, at least that's what we've been told. As this one's on the ground, should be a double play if you hurry, and it is. Runner to third, 2 outs, as Brinson's doubled up. But needless to say, the Braves need Max Fried back, pitching well, pitching comfortably as they try to get him tuned up for a postseason run.
Yeah, I think Max will be hopefully rested to go. I think the big thing with him, if he couldn't throw his pen and be able to do it, I definitely think last start or two for him, I think it bothered him with his command. You could tell he could not command the inside part of the zone, which is something we saw his first 6, 7 starts this year do so well. So get him healthy, get Cole back out there, and I think we're in business.
Little tapper to Dansby. That is going to do it. A history-making night in Atlanta. The Braves set a National League record for most runs scored in a game. Adam Duvall ties the Atlanta RBI record for a single game. And the Braves set a franchise record for runs scored with 29 of them. Acuna drove in 5. Atlanta hit 7 home runs and clobbered the Marlins 29-9 and salvaged Game 3 of this 3-game series. Jeff, we may never see anything like this again in our lifetime, so hopefully Braves country enjoyed it as much as we did.
I do. The only thing I regret is that there couldn't be anybody here to see this tonight, because it was loud. And you got to say, as good as the offense was, congrats to Adam Duvall. Another 3 home run game. The things he's done to come back after last year and be a huge part of this team. Great game for him. Great game for the whole offense.
Nice job by Bryce Wilson, who, by the way, worked 4 innings of 1-run relief tonight for Atlanta. They sure needed that. The bullpen and staff should be in good shape as they head off to Washington for a 6:05 start tomorrow night. Our coverage starts with Braves Live, presented by Toyota, over on Fox Sports Southeast at 5:30 Eastern Time. And to paraphrase the great Ernie Johnson, on this record-setting night in Atlanta, the Braves beat Miami 29-9. The boys will recap it on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity, next.